Hey everybody, welcome. We are in session 2 of Apocalypse World, Dronelands, suspiciously named. I love it. It's actually Erik came up with that name. It's a cool game. We're having a good time. So we are playing Dronelands in Apocalypse World for the first time. So if you're joining us in session 2, I'm sure Erik will catch us up on where we are at this point. But I'm sure you'd also like to go back and watch session 1 because we need the views and we want you to do it. So, and if you can't do any of those things,
leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Also, we dragged Graham all the way down from Canada just for you.
Is kicking and screaming.
Yeah, he's like, no.
My condolences.
Not again. My little room.
We want to get rid of all immigrants and stuff, so we won't be trapped here.
We'll
be short.
We'll welcome Graham while we can. So welcome Graham to the United States.
Thank you. What does that mean?
Isn't that Canadian? I don't know. Anyway, let's have some fun with this game. So Erik, are you ready to take us into session 2 of Apocalypse World?
Let's do it.
All right.
So we are in session 2. Last week was our first full session in Apocalypse World. After the week before, we set up our characters and got started right into the action with some cold opens. So I'll just recap the story so far. So your characters are survivors in a post-apocalyptic village called Greenhill, surrounded by the Wire, a electric contraption that keeps away the bite bots, a swarm of micro drones that steal every bit of recyclable material. And with the Wire, Greenhill survives. It's a human settlement of about 400 people.
Anybody else picturing Pac-Man eating the Wire? And when we kill them with the smoke, it's like wow, 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 wow.
Pac-Man may still exist somewhere on the botnet. The what's remaining of the signals of the old human world has been taken over by the drones. And so when your village was raided and one of your residents found a radio, it attracted some unwanted attention. So the night before we'll rejoin our characters, your village was attacked. Pierce, you're one of the guards here in Greenhill. You fended off an attack. You traded blows with an attacker on a motorcycle and were left unconscious for Fingers, our healer, to resurrect you from your state in the morning.
How much pain do you want?
The 6 of you came to realize that the town had been hit, and the resident electrician, Lightbulb Larry, seemed to think that it was an inside job. And the leaders of this town, Noah and Charles, have tasked you with finding who tipped him off to the location of this Wire. Who is the traitor who made this raid on your village possible? After investigating the situation at the Arcade, an establishment run by Smokey, where they have virtual reality fights and booze aplenty, nice. You responded to some fires on the horizon. Farmers had begun taking on the nanite swarms of the bite bots over in the northwest corner of Greenhill, which let's go over to the map now. And you all approached the scene, found the farmers fighting the bite bots with a sort of a radio flak material, powder full of aluminum dust that scrambles their sensors, the sparkle smoke, and with their help and the help of the fish heads, Trout's devoted, loyal, desperately loyal followers. You drove away.
Desperately loyal.
Desperately.
You drove away the bite bots, discovering that they had swarmed a young farm girl named September who had found a radio dropped by one of the motorcycle raiders earlier that night. After driving off the bite bots, you took control of the radio, which had been destroyed somewhat in an explosion during the battle. You spoke with the girl's father.
He loves me.
Doesn't like me.
He's at least glad that his daughter is alive. And even though many residents of this town don't like you, Trout, as an outsider, who they are kind of blaming somewhat. Many are blaming you somewhat for this attack. The girl who found the radio has fled the scene to the northwest, I believe Miguel has.
Did we know she found it from the bike? Like, I don't know that we.
She had it in her possession.
I know she had it,
We
but
didn't
we
know
didn't
she
talk
found
to
it
her.
yet.
She just wrapped it and ran.
We were.
But we might have learned it from her father. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
he
remember.
said that he had said that she had it in her. She had something in her possession, but he didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And that's when the attack happened. And so he, like a good father, abandoned his daughter
Yeah.
and went out to fight the bots, leaving the back door open for some. Like
He
me
was
to come
trying to
wandering.
hold the perimeter, to his credit.
Yeah. So
He might have wanted her out of the picture. We don't know.
Yeah, when I came in, she was clinging to it. I always picture the radio as kind of like about that big, maybe. I don't know how big it was, but big enough to send a signal. So, and then we went.
It's like a big walkie-talkie.
Yeah, and then we went back, and I went back with the radio, and that's when I believe it was you. I believe it was Pierce and who ended up destroying them by using the radio as a device, as bait. Yeah. Good
So
job,
now the
Blue.
radio is inoperable,
Yes.
but you can still take it.
It does look tasty still, though.
Who would like to eat it? But who is very strange.
Both
I
statements.
should ask real quick, as we rejoin our characters, sort of trying to figure out where to go next. I believe Miguel wanted to go speak with Lightbulb Larry about who could have directed this attack on the wire.
Oh, no.
And
No, she didn't.
others wanted to go find September. And
I was not in the events where we went to look at the wire. I had left, and I believe I was with Trout at the time. Did Trout also leave?
Yeah.
So
I think we were
believe
together.
was headed back.
yeah, I think we were heading back to the arcade, but we could go try to find September. We know that her father had said that she was with that she went to the let me look on the map here. Paulina's mess hall.
Yeah, I think we were heading back to the arcade, but yeah, we should head over there.
Yeah,
I gotta let this September know her father's a real piece of crap.
Wait,
Doesn't know how to parent her.
well, we will.
she's one of 12 kids, so yeah.
In just a moment, we'll get back to your characters. We should do our. Actually, I should ask. It says to ask. Does anybody want to go through re-highlighting their stats? I think we could just get going. You have 2 highlighted stats that we established. When you roll one of those, you get mark experience. Does anybody have all 5 experience boxes marked, by the way?
No, I think
have 4.
several of us have 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you mark your 5th, tell me, and we will select a advancement and just give it to you right away, because events move quick, and I don't want to have to wait for a long rest like Oblivion. Oblivion
I'll have to
is
put,
much
I'll have to put
slower.
like a little fancy highlight marker on you, like whoa. See a highlight.
Ding.
I love- Yeah. One thing we've established is that I love editing work.
What's your favorite?
Well, before we rejoin our characters and put you back in the action, I need Trout to roll me fortunes for this session.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
This
let's get over
determines-
to my
In this
followers.
instance, I will say that this fortune's roll is determining how well what sort of condition they're in after helping fight the bite bots.
Here we go. Partial success.
Partial success. So you are in surplus. Your followers are in surplus, but you need to pick one want, which I believe your only want is desperation right now.
Yes.
You could want to find September.
Yeah.
September, October, whatever.
Short,
but they
short
are
1 month.
Yeah.
But in surplus,
wake me up when September ends. Yeah.
in surplus, they gain members. They party and they disdain peace and order. So they are
That tracks.
probably. You think they're probably smoking them if they got them over at the arcade after their victory this morning.
I did tell them, like, go back to the arcade, get everything set up.
Yeah, I'm happy to have food, right?
Yeah, and who, as a member of my party, of my cult, remember, you are feeling very violent right now.
That's normal.
Yeah, I think, like, if I get to choose another want, I know they're setting up shop there, but
the desperation kind of just comes into effect. Is all.
They're desperate for violence at this point. They got a taste for it last night.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Definitely blew up some stuff.
Well,
They had
we
so
will-
much fun throwing powder on things.
Oh yeah. We will. It's a very flashy weapon.
Is that a new slang term for going out and hey, you want to go throw some powder, sling some powder?
I think they're a little high on their own supply right now.
Yeah, we need a list
right.
of all of our slang. We're making slang up here.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, we rejoin our characters. The fires of this battle perimeter are starting to die down now that they're not tending them. The farmers are going back to their homes. You hear the clanking of assorted pots and pans, and you see a couple of the farmers carrying sacks of stuff up towards the arcade. It looks like they're planning on going up the hill. And yeah, I'd like to start with who would I believe Miguel, the Savvyhead, wanted to speak with Lightbulb Larry, who he's well acquainted with, about who would have been able to, who knew the hidden locations of the wires to direct this strike.
No, she didn't.
He came here all the way from Canada. At least we should let him do what he wants to do.
All right. Oh, it's who gets confusing.
Oh,
All
I
right.
get it.
But yeah, so we are here. You found a few of the like buttons on your coat. A little bit of your armor has been picked away by the bite bots, but you were able to escape without too much damage to most of your essential equipment. A few of you did lose some oddments worth a few barter, as it was picked into little pieces by the bite bots, but you're otherwise okay.
Just starts dissolving.
Who, I will remind you, your ears are still ringing a little. You have a -1 forward to your next weird roll, as you had some feedback connecting to the psychic maelstrom.
Yep. Yep, it was rough.
All right,
Doesn't
well, I
usually
guess
happen that way.
No, but it is unpredictable.
All right, so we'll start with Miguel.
Characters know that. Yeah, I guess Miguel, you have just finished examining the places that the wires used to be, and it's pretty obvious that they weren't searching for the wires. They knew where they were, and they took big sections of your hidden electrical grid that keeps these life-saving traps going. What do you do?
Okay, well, I got to find Lightbulb Larry. First thing I'll ask him is, do you have, there are big chunks of the wire missing. Do you have any parts that we might be able to repair it? So
Lightbulb Larry hasn't come out to the battle with you. Lightbulb Larry's is up on the main hill here in Greenhill. He he's definitely not fighting fit. So you think that even though he was running around to reach the elders this morning, he probably wouldn't be far from home.
Mm-hmm. Right, so I'll go and seek him out.
Okay, you know where Lightbulb Larry is. Miguel goes towards Larry's place, past the solar panels that power this whole settlement. Does anybody go with him?
I have to follow my leader.
Well, Trout's
I'm headed back to the
not even.
arcade.
He went back toward the arcade, and then halfway through, we decided we're going to Paulina's. So you're gonna have to, you don't even know where he's at.
You're so fixated on your hearing
I'll
loss.
let
You're
you
like,
catch each other. I'll say you were just starting to
Or we,
separate.
or
As
maybe we don't
joined
want him
you,
to catch
so.
up to us. Can we duck into a building and try to avoid?
You can hide from Trout if you
Yeah,
like.
Trout and I are
I
hiding.
think Trout.
from-
I think Trout wants to hide from who? You know, it's just like Jesus. This kid keeps coming to me.
Oh, she's a weird one.
Okay. Well,
Oh
Trout,
my
if you want
God.
to.
Do we make a stealth check?
I ain't got no money, but I'm gonna love you like a fool.
God, I
Who
don't even
says
know you.
weird things like
Where
this?
are you even from?
I don't know.
Like, yeah,
They were-
I don't want who to find me. I grab you and I'm like, come here, we're gonna hide in the corner. like I don't want who to find us.
All right, we dart into a building and try to skirt our way around town to find Paulina's, while Miguel is walking across, probably up that little hill area to go
Okay.
find Lightbulb Larry.
Mm.
Yeah. Piers is going to be wherever.
Okay.
Smoke-
Well,
Yeah, Smokey's head back to the arcade altogether.
okay.
Gotta wait for everybody.
Smokey, the last move you made was a 12, a success on Everybody Eats, Even That Guy. You learned some things about September that you know pretty well. You know September trusts Paulina very much. You know that she can be expected to return home by the end of the night. She isn't really that much of a runaway risk. And that she's pretty shaken up right now, but if you can make her feel safe, she does open up. Or rather, that's. I think the question was one of her vulnerabilities, but in this context, it's what's going to make her willing to give information.
Right.
All right, so as Smokey, Pierce, Trout, you're all going back to the arcade?
Or no, we're going to go find Paulina, or going
okay.
to Paulina's to find September.
All right. Well, in that case, if Miguel's going to Larry's alone, let's meet up with him quick. So Miguel, you pass the solar panels that are set up to Lightbulb Larry's. You see him out there throwing canvas over some of his stored supplies. It's kind of a difficult task for him. He's definitely struggling. He's bent to about 4.5 feet tall at this point, and his hands are definitely not meant for this type of work.
Let me use the strong hand.
Yeah, I'll give him a hand in covering up some things, and while we're covering up, I'll just tell him, look, the wire is severely broken. We need to fix it. Have you got any bits of cable or anything that we can use anything we can salvage from somewhere that we can fix the traps?
Larry says, "Well, I have the copper. The Izzy made sure of that. There's like a couple of big spools of copper that he's trying to cover in a big piece of sackcloth. He says, but the bite bots are coming, and I can't work with the bite bots out. But yes, I can replace the sections. It's the bait. I don't have enough aluminum. I don't know where they must have taken it." And he says, "Did you find anything out there? Did you see what hurt my wire?"
Well, I don't know exactly what hurt it, but whoever did it knew exactly where to dig.
I had a feeling we hid those very, very well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we did, but whoever was looking knew exactly where to look. Somehow our secret.
Well, Larry says, well, your friend Pierce knows. Noah and Charles know, of course, but they've lived here their whole lives. Why would they? I can't. Well, Izzy, of course, he helped me with the copper. Rusty knows too. He takes night shifts as well. I ask him to check the buried cable. He hasn't said anything's been wrong on his night shifts. Vin, she knows, but she's not allowed to go near there anymore. She wanted to steal from the traps, but young thing, we can't punish them so severely. I suppose I did tell Nutter on the guard, but he wouldn't. He's fervent, passionate, that boy. No, I don't know. If anybody else knows, I didn't tell them.
So we have Vin, Nutter. Who else is on the list?
Izzy, Rusty, Noah.
Charles too, yeah.
Who?
Charles.
Charles.
Oh,
That was-
Noah and Charles, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Got it.
tied at the hip
And
at
Pierce,
the moment, but also
he said he
split
did.
them apart.
He did
Did
throw
say
Pierce.
Pierce.
Yes,
on
you
Pierce
do
is on the
know.
list too.
Yeah.
Pierce,
Never trust
when
an
you when you became a guard officially, and as they were building the wire, you've been here for a while actually. Yeah, as they were building the wire, they did let the guards know where the hidden conduits would be buried, so that you could check on them during your patrols. So yes, you do know the locations of the hidden conduits.
All right.
But yeah, so Larry says to Miguel, "But I don't have time to hunt them down. I need to protect my material. The wire is down. We need to secure everything." You see, there's some fresh planks of wood on some of the windows of Lightbulb Larry's refurbished house. You see, he's doing his best to hide anything metal or glass or plastic.
I'm willing to.
But,
I'm willing to go out and do some work on there as long as I do whatever I can to make us less vulnerable.
I'm getting the feeling that he can do the work, but he just needs additional bait. Is that what we need?
yeah, he says, I can do the wire, but without the aluminum, the traps won't attract the bite bots.
If I was there, I might tell you that the arcade is full of stuff.
Is Lightbulb
It
Larry
is
the
full of
oldest
stuff.
man in existence? He's so old and tired.
He might be. He works fiddly little stuff hunched over all day.
I'm picturing him as
With
like
his reading
think
glasses.
of the most whitest skinned, old, crusty, like never been out in the sun. Just
Long beard. He's got
Yeah.
a long beard.
yeah,
beard.
he was out in the sun.
but he might be out in the sun, but because he's so old and crusty, he just
Doesn't
got that
take.
white
Oh
skin.
my God.
You almost see his bones between it so thin.
I'm getting remember in Obscure in Waterworld, there's that one guy who's in the oil tanker and the like really old guy in the water in the
Oh,
oil
thank
tank, and
God.
he's just like, oh thank God, he blows up.
Yeah.
That's that guy. Oh man.
Anyways,
You don't have to watch Waterworld. to
yeah,
watch
so
Yeah.
Any
Required.
Watch this
post-apocalyptic
game, you
movie will
probably
do.
have watched that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I mean, I'm willing to bet 90% of any of our viewers.
I have seen an Apocalypse World game that takes place on boats and floating structures like
But
that.
doesn't have
It
Kevin
is cool.
Costner because
No, it doesn't.
Bills.
I don't want it.
Anyways, Miguel,
Dances
Larry
with
is Larry is busy preparing for this storm to come. You see on your way in that other people are doing the same, hauling sacks of valuables closer towards the center of town, towards the Elder's Manor at the very top of Greenhill. Larry is busying himself. He seems more preoccupied with defending his materials right now than with hunting down the perpetrator. But
yeah, I think our big priority really should be getting the thing repaired before we can deal with the investigation later. But I think that as long as the wire is severed and is broken, we're vulnerable. And
Larry says, I agree, but Charles wants to force the issue, and I fear even Noah is ready to enact some kind of justice or whatever. I just worry about the wires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'll go back to my place and I'll check and see what I've got. My mushrooms haven't destroyed yet. But
you can return to your mycology lab. A lot of your material is organic. Your main stock of mushrooms and spores, reagents and substrates generally goes untouched by the bite bots. But you do have glass, metal components that would be eaten if it were to swarm through this entire town. As Miguel is on his way to the mycology, the rest of you are on your way to Polina's mess hall. You're going through the main part of town where residents who are part of the main town live. The gates at the foot of this hill keep outsiders from living in this gated section of town. But as you pass by the Elder's Manor, at the top of the hill, you see even some crates of material are being lifted up to a pile of storage up at the very top of that hill. The elders and some of their helpers are pulling together materials, trying to protect them from what might come.
Do they have any sort of defense grid around the manor, or is it just like, maybe raiders and humans that might have a harder time with a hill?
It is a hill. There's no extra drone protection here.
Got it.
The hill is
come in, so
That's the hill they chose to die on.
Yep.
It very much is. You know that Charles and Noah have lived here since launch day, and have made this their stronghold to survive. They've been around before the apocalypse. So yeah, you arrive at a large building. They have not yet boarded up these windows. If you look inside, there's a number of tables and chairs. This place is set up like a mess hall. It's where many of the residents go to eat. Yes.
Polina's? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will
around
walk
you, there
in.
are people running materials towards this stockpile in the center of town. They're very busy. Everybody knows they are vulnerable to the drones.
All right. I'll push my way into Polina's mess hall. I'm assuming it's busy and there's people eating in here.
There's a few people eating. There's a few people packing glass into boxes with scraps of cloth and paper. The air is tense in here. There are a few people trying to eat a hurried breakfast before continuing with their emergency preparations.
All right. First things first, we need
Trav will
to
shuffle in behind you.
Yeah, first things first, we need to get some food. We'll eat.
What if somebody would like to give me a read a situation?
I'll do it.
Who's around?
What is read a situation? Is that a
Sharp.
Sharp?
Read
All
a
right,
situation is a basic sharp move.
All right, I'm gonna read it because I have a +2 on that.
Nice.
I got a -1, so not me.
Right. So let's see what I
It's
got.
actually peripheral.
Ooh, a partial. And 5 experience.
Partial success.
Oh.
Cool. Well, let's go ahead and read the stitch, and then we'll do an advancement for you.
All right.
So, read a situation. When you read a charged situation, on a 10 plus, no, on a 7 to 9, you get to ask one question. And oops, crap, I'm supposed to get text of that. Anyways, you can ask, well, what's my best escape route? Way in or way past? Which enemy is most vulnerable to me? Which is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What is my enemy's true position? Or who is in control here?
All right. Well, I mean, I pretty much know it's Paulina who's in control here. So I'm going to say, well, you know, I will ask that question. Who is in control here when I look around? Is it Paulina?
It is a little charged in here.
What's that?
Yes, yeah. You see people scurrying about, and you hear somebody go, "Oh, honey, you gotta put that in the other box. That's not servingware. That's cookware."
What are they doing? I'll ask them. Hey, hey, what are you doing in here?
If you want some soup, we've just got it on there. Just go grab a bowl. But we're trying to get everything packed up to the storehouse. If the bite bots hit this place, we're not going to have a single glass left in the building. You see, he's stuffing scraps of an old T-shirt into a bar glass and putting it into a cardboard box.
Where's Paulina?
Oh, she's dealing with the cookware in the back.
All right. Thank you. By the way, how you feeling? Okay?
How am I feeling?
You have anything aching or pains anywhere?
No, just, I mean, my hands hurt as always, but that's not the bite bots or the wire. That's just work.
It'll have to do. All right.
I gotta pack this up. Paulina says we gotta be packed up and ready by noon.
All right, I'm gonna go wander to the back room. I'm assuming people are in tow with me. It's Trout and I, as far as I know.
Yeah,
it's Trout.
I'll look at Trout and I go, Trout. Looks like Paulina's back there. They're packing everything up.
Pierce and Smokey and who are? Did you follow along?
Yes.
I look back and see the rest of them walking in behind me, and I look at you and I'm like, great, more company.
Smokey wants to go back to his establishment to look for more supplies to potentially fix the wire, or at least present, because with the revelation of there being a radio involved, he knows shit's about to go down. People are not going to be happy, so he's trying to get ahead of that and trying to get people happy and in a good mood. So that's why he's going to prepare for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
We're at
unless Smokey.
Paulina's. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so you're gonna go back to the arcade with Smokey?
Unless Smokey says different.
I'm gonna tell Pierce to go to find out where everybody's gathering and try to keep the peace and keep people from freaking out.
All right, then I'll have gone with everybody to Paulina.
Okay. If you head towards the arcade, we'll meet up with you in a moment.
Well, I'm going to
an idea.
Yeah, you'll be at the mess hall with us.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So we thought that September was going to go to the mess hall at some point too, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Smokey knows with his everybody eats move that she trusts Paulina very, very greatly.
Okay.
And you last spotted her running sort of towards the north gate of town where the mess hall is closest.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go be the cat. She's gonna be my prey. I'm gonna go try to sort of drive them to the mess hall by running out that way.
Who?
September.
September? You haven't spotted September yet, and
I know.
as it's not a, I'm not sure it would be a subterfuge move if we're not trying to trap someone.
Well, I was just reading through the other versions of it. So you're the bait, which is sort of setting a trap, right?
Yeah.
And then there's you're the cat. Says you on a hit you catch your prey out. On a 10+, you've driven them first to a place of your choosing. Say where. And 7 to 9, you've had to follow them where they wanted to go. They say where. I suppose your point would be that I have to follow them somehow, right? But that's the trick about being a cat, right? Is that you can sort of like figure out where they've gone and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think we have to find her first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd say that you do need to find out where she went. You did have to finish up the encounter with the bite bots. She did flee a good out of sight before you were able to wrap that up. So
we're trying to pick up her trail. I think once we have her trail, then you can pull your move.
Yeah, and I will say, driving people to a trap place sounds pretty scary to me. It might be a bit of a hostile move for a very non-hostile interaction.
Well, it sounds like it's not really applicable. I guess that's a good point, is that we don't know where she is, but I could try to figure that out. I can always jump back into the maelstrom again.
Yeah, because that worked out for you.
Hey, she's good at it.
The
Hey, you didn't die.
ringing
That's
in your
you're good at
ears.
it.
The ringing in your ears got a little higher when you walked in here. You're not sure if it's the temperature or just the stress of everybody around you.
I'll wait for a minute and see what's happening in this room. I'll get the lay of the land here and watch what other people are doing, and then maybe I'll do the maelstrom thing. Thanks.
All right. So, Fingers, did you went back into the kitchen to find
With Trout.
Polina?
Yeah, Trout and I are
Trout.
going back to talk to Polina.
All right. So an old woman in an apron and a bandana tying her what remaining hair is she has back. She says, "Oh, are you here to help with the packing?" No, wait.
No,
no,
I'm
she
looking
had
for one of your customers who happens to wander through here all the time, and maybe about a fist size.
Yeah, do you know
worth of-
September? He just blurts out.
Oh, hun, a lot of people walk through September. The farm girl.
Yeah, terrible father, you know.
She
has
She
this
goes,
habit
well,
of
I wouldn't say that, but
Yeah, what? You know where she is? She been through here?
she squares up with you. She sort of stands up a little bit more and she goes, well, maybe she does eat here sometimes. What's it to you?
Listen,
yeah.
we're not here to do anything bad to her. I'm gonna confide. Can I confide in you, Polina? Can I tell you something that's just between you and me and Trout and everyone else in this room?
I don't like the look of him. You've helped a lot of our people, but
Listen.
I ain't so sure about.
Trout, can you do me a favor?
Pointing at you, Trout.
And Trout, can you do me a favor and wait outside the room?
No, I want to hear why you're looking for this girl.
All right, allow me to.
And now of all times, I'm packing up. We're trying to
Polina,
get everything ready for the bite bots to come.
The reason why you're having problems with the bite bots, let me take you on a little mental journey. All right, it starts with these bite bots coming out and attacking our town because we had the wires down, right? Right. We all know this, but why did they come here? Why were they attracted to you? I know you're a good-looking woman, but let me explain. They're not after you. They're after the signal. Where did they get the signal? From a radio.
Yeah.
Where did they get the radio? From a little girl named September who was carrying one.
Yep. Young man, that's quite an accusation.
It's also a pretty good
it's
story.
reality.
Well,
Thinking of publishing it.
rumor has it, your people, Trout, your people brought the bots here. That's the rumor.
Listen, I already went through this. Listen,
Hey,
they literally can't do anything without me. They can't. They can't function without me.
Paulina,
I didn't tell them to do nothing.
if you
Easy
take one of
now,
those,
I
if you
said it
take
was
one of
a
those
rumor.
boxes and you fill it with a bunch of crap, you'll have the amount of evidence that says that we are responsible for this. Now take that box of crap and box it up and put it on the shelf because I'm about to tell you this. We have nothing to do with it. We're here to help. And
She
this
goes-
is why if we had something to do with it, we wouldn't be trying to help, would I?
Why don't you roll me a seduce or manipulate here?
The hot roll?
Yeah.
Wow.
It will be.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
Can I try to aid that?
Sure. How do you help? How do you?
I'm just like, you gotta listen to this guy. He only speaks the truth. Just trust me. I know. I only speak the truth as well.
All right. I will roll my hot roll. Here we go.
I'll let you help and hinder.
Okay, go ahead and roll your help roll first.
Roll plus your history, Trout. Roll plus your history with
Fingers. All right.
What?
Succeeds partially.
Okay. Yeah, you get a. I think that's a +1 to the
All right, I'm going to add one to my roll here.
fingers roll.
May I add one to my roll? Here we go. I'm going to use that suaveness that only fingers can have as he's watching you in pain. I rolled a 7.
Ooh.
Bumped up to an 8, still a partial success. But yeah, that is a little bit successful. She's just going to need a concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence.
So Paulina, we had this problem over by the hillside there where these bite bots came. We all, my crew, my friends, and we all came together to defeat those bite bots, and we found the radio on Little Miss September's clutches. That's what was attracting the bite bots. Now, why was she holding it? Where did she get it?
Polina says, "Well, no, I don't know. You'll have to ask her yourself."
I mean, she was here. Maybe she got it from you.
She goes, "September, you can come out now. I promise they won't hurt you here." And
I wouldn't be proud.
September comes out. You see a girl dressed in rags. She has been crying, and she looks very upset. But she walks, shoulders slumped, head down, out from a building. Out from a room behind the kitchen here, in the mess hall. And she goes, "Yes, They did save me from the bite bots."
I think Trout shambles over to her, gets down on one knee, puts a hand on her shoulder.
She recoils a little.
We all do.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Did that deadbeat of a father give you that radio?
She goes, "He didn't know I found it.
Where'd you find it?"
She looks up around at you. She sees Fingers, Trout. Pierce, are you there?
Yep.
You're there. She looks at Pierce and goes, Pierce, why don't you give me a read a person? She looks at you and gets really tongue-tied all of a sudden.
Seems like Pierce is
read a
responsible
person,
for this.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not great.
Wow.
Read a person.
Stellar.
Is that a plus sharp? Oh dear. On a miss, ask one question off this list. Is this person telling the truth? What are they really feeling? What do they intend to do? What do they wish I'd do? Or how could I get your character, how could I get them to do something?
What was the second and last one?
What does your character wish I would do? So what does September wish you would do?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
He's looking at me. What do you want? Talk to me. Speak.
He wishes you would turn a blind eye to what she wants to say. She doesn't want to tell this to the guards.
I look down at her. I'm like, no.
I leave the room.
Move her face. Look at me. Shift her face to look me in the eyes. No, don't look at
I'll
him.
leave the room.
Don't look at that man. Talk to old Trout.
She goes, she looks at your blue eyes and goes, I found it outside the wire. I was looking for stuff to sketch, and I heard noises. I heard fighting, and when I ran, I saw this, and I thought that maybe it was from one of the attackers. I didn't see them, but I picked it up and I ran. I ran home, and I hid it from my dad, and I'm sorry. And she just kind of breaks down into tears a little.
Don't
she just
worry
starts
about
sobbing a little.
Now
It's
stop
not your
crying.
fault.
It's not. Zion. Yeah, like you said, it's not your fault. Stop crying.
She goes, okay.
I mean, clearly you have a bad father.
Yes.
Right, Trout? I kind of smile at
I
Trout
don't
when I
even know
look.
what
I
he
look
did
back
to
at the little
deserve
girl.
this.
I look back at the little
You
girl. I'm
gotta
like,
find a
hey,
better father.
it's not your father's fault either. You found this thing randomly in the middle of the field. You brought it back home. I mean, it could have been worse. It could be like a biker with tattoos and stuff. So you're doing all right.
And she goes, no, I didn't see that he had any tattoos. I didn't see him at all. He had some kind of tools, and I guess he didn't. I don't know. It was so fast and so dark.
That's all right. Someday you're gonna grow up and you're gonna bring home a boyfriend. He's gonna want to be a professional gamer or streamer or something. Your dad's gonna be very disappointed. Right now, you're fine.
Who walks over at that
She
point?
doesn't know what
who walks
streaming
over?
is.
Trout's crouched down in front of her, right? Who
Yeah,
walks over
I'm like
and,
right in
and
her
literally,
face.
Who walks over and literally like sits down on your knee, that's crouched down and just looks at this kid and says, "Did you find a mechanic who's working on the grid?"
She sniffles. A mechanic?
You said he had tools. He had tools. Tasty tools. Was he
She
working
goes-
on the... What was he working on?
Who wants Trout's tasty tool? Apparently.
Well, I saw a couple of guys. One of them had a bunch of tools on him, and another one had I think he had a gun. I didn't see him very clearly. They both left.
Did they have a shovel?
I think the little guy did.
Do you know this little one's name? Have you seen him in town before?
No, I didn't see their face. I just saw two guys.
And a motorcycle?
They were talking, and I heard noises.
Like machine, like motorcycle noises? Motorcycles?
I guess.
You know what they were wearing?
I didn't see.
You know the signs are the Aquarius,
She goes, I don't
Aries.
know what an Aquarius is, and she starts breaking down again.
I'll turn around to
I like a rock
Trout
gang.
and look at him right in the eyes and put my arms around his shoulders like this and be like, Trout, I think we found our guys.
You're a little too comfortable with me, aren't you?
She cocks her head to one side.
Do you kick
Stares at you right in the
off
face.
like a dog that's getting too jumpy?
Yeah,
Just can't live without your touch, Trout.
I just stand up like hoping
She's
her
hanging on you.
arms.
Whoop.
Just all right. Well, I guess we're doing this now. All right. September, you have been so helpful. When you get a little older, come over to the arcade, hang out with the fish heads. They're great guys. They're great guys. I'm sure you'll get along with them.
She goes, yes, sir.
Yeah, and make
at this
sure
point,
you get rid of that father. He's a bad influence on you. I can
At
tell.
this point, Paulina puts a meaty hand between you and September and pushes September behind her and goes, all right, that's enough questions. The girl is obviously upset. She can stay here for now, but if that's all you need, I think you should leave her alone.
And we've
Anybody-
got some
I'm gonna look over
motorcycle
at-
men to get. She'll
I'm-
bound out of the room.
I'm
gonna
just
look over
wearing
at
who is a
Pierce.
necktie.
No, she runs out of the
Sure,
room
you
and
ran
says,
out? All right.
motorcycle man, we gotta go get him.
I'm going to look over at Pierce calmly and say, "Does anybody else find this whole last situation awkward?"
You're all awkward.
Pierce,
You weren't so awkward, bud.
you did overhear her description of what she saw out there, and when you were attacked, you only saw one guy, and you didn't see anybody having a You definitely didn't stop to have a conversation with the guy. So hearing her describe this situation, you are immediately sure that it wasn't your guy who dropped this. This encounter happened somewhere else that night.
Did you find out where she found it?
Yeah, she said outside the wires.
Yeah,
Outside
you
the
guys.
That's
if you
the
have
rest
nothing
of
else
the
to say, to
fucking
Paulina.
planet. Where is?
Outside the wires where they were dug up. That's where I understood. Is that what you?
But where? To the west, to the
It would
north,
be-
to the south.
Well, it would be to the east, right? Because that would be east of the wires.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she would say, I was playing in the woods outside my house, just that way. And her house, you know, to be on the northeast side. So yeah, you're fairly certain she was around the area that was hit.
Attacked.
I
Because if
know.
it was on the
I-
other side of the thing, that's different. That's
Right.
That's a different thing.
But I think it's that's my understanding. So we're east of her house.
think,
So we can go. Hey, maybe we should all go check out this place east of the house and see if we can find some more information about maybe other things were dropped in the area.
So you said I know where the things are. Is one of them there in that area? The sections?
Yeah, she doesn't give great directions. She just sort of describes how she went, towards the big tree and into a little valley and took a left at the stump. She's not 100% certain where on the map she was, but yeah, she was out that direction. So Trout and Fingers and Paulina has taken September back into one of her rooms to help her calm down. And she says she's got a lot of packing to do in the kitchen and shoos you out with a rolling pin. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Very, very, very busy in here.
I guess I'll sidle up to Pierce. Like, hey, you're a good guy. You're not got a narc on this this girl, are you?
Why would I do that?
I don't know. You're kind of.
She is technically forbidden from going out there without permission.
I don't care.
All right. Good. Yeah, she found the radio over to the east, over the wire. But,
Go ahead
she
and check it
doesn't,
out right
she's-
now.
No, we
Yeah.
probably should.
Yes.
Let's head out over there.
Okay.
You first. I'll be behind Pierce.
Just inhales behind you. Just give you a big old sniff, Trout.
I'll also be behind who?
I wish you just weren't so weird, bud.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Just as a side note, so we don't forget, I do have 5 experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
right, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's a good point. Thanks. I forgot that. Cool. So Fingers gets an advancement. There's a first block of them on your character sheet.
Yes.
Those you got to take, I believe, 5 of those before you can start taking any of the last 5. You know what I mean? So those are
Yes.
advanced ones. So from the first section, you can get a little stat increase. You can take a new move from your playbook. You can also take a move from a different playbook. So if you've looked at other playbooks and you think something that may suit Fingers better than the ones on your list as an angel, you can take that. That's sort of this system's way of multi-classing.
Does it add moves though?
Yes, you add a move to your repertoire.
Excellent.
In addition to all the basic moves you are already able to do. But a couple of them are weird. One of them is get a supplier, which would allow you to. A supplier is somebody who helps you restock your angel kit.
Okay.
I will say if you picked a supplier, it may not come into effect right away. I'd probably grant you a boost to your stock right off the bat just to get it moving. But that would be more representing you having a connection to somebody who can get you medical supplies, which is always a very valuable thing for an angel. But it might not come into play before the end of my chapter 1 here.
Either can be. I'll do my 1+1 sharp, I guess.
Okay.
And then I'll increase my sharp.
Yep, you'll mark that box. We'll increase your sharp. Max sharp +3. Dang. Okay. Your sharp and your professional compassion for your help and hinder. Well, okay, maybe not compassion, but point is you can use your sharp for help or hinder.
Yes.
All right, cool. I believe the healing rolls.
It's almost
also-
Christmas time, so I'll be using my Santa Claus.
Boo.
Oofta. You become even better at what you're good at.
All right.
But yeah, so you are all planning on heading back out to the wire. It's about it's getting close to noon here. And they are busy packing. Everywhere you look, you see people shuttering their houses as if protecting from a hurricane, and moving valuables to a stockpile in the center of town.
The hard part is the insurance premiums are going to go way up.
If only we had insurance after launch day. Now
We
we
were
have
the insurance.
We have a Pierce.
your best insurance is violence and laying low.
I'm going to help in a new company called NPC Insurance.
All right.
So is this a common, is this like the standard operating procedure for these things?
For
Oh yeah, that's a good
Like-
point. Like,
Why are people
They're-
moving all their stuff to the middle of town? Who's going to guard that?
They are hiding recyclable materials from the bite bots since they've already breached the wire. They're trying to you would know that this is a procedure where they're trying to hide everything that the bite bots can take in the center of town where it's easier to defend it all. Though they go for not only signal capable devices but anything recyclable. Trout, you are there in the back of your mind. You're worried about all that copper and aluminum and little vacuum tubes and the circuit board back at the arcade that you know would be devastated if a swarm of bite bots got in.
I know my fish heads are there, and
They are there. You did send them
Smokey's
back there.
Yes, I sent him back there. Smokey's also there.
Smokey's on his way there, and I'd actually like to
Yeah.
catch up with Smokey.
Yes.
And what's going on with the arcade. So, Smokey, you You arrive back at the arcade, your establishment in the trade zone. You got to leave the gate. It is heavily guarded. There's a couple guys at the gate with rifles, one more than usual. But you get past them. You're part of the city. But you run the arcade out here, so you get back to your building. And you see Rusty, the guard who was there earlier, is still there, and he looks at you and goes, "Ooh, buddy, those guys they just got back, and they're making an absolute party of it in there."
A party, you say?
A party right now doesn't sound like the best use of our time, but it seems
really
Trout's guys really like to party in there. They must have. You must have had some success against the bite bots up there.
Yes, but that's only one part of the problem coming up. We're going to need to rally the troops and get to the center of town. The wire is down.
Yeah, hasn't been down for years. We haven't had to do this for a long time. I'll keep guarding the door until it's time to evacuate here.
Absolutely. Then Smokey will go inside. He'll start to see if he's got anybody around, or if the people are freaking out, or if people are still.
You look around. You see the fish heads, a bunch of Foot Clan-esque followers. Some of them are a little beat up. A couple of them have suffered burns from using the sparkle smoke they're not familiar with. But they appear to be hooting and hollering. A couple of them got drinks out. They're passing a straight bottle of some kind of liquor. Some of that nasty stuff that they brew up on the other side of town. And it's like 11 o'clock and they're just celebrating, beating a cloud of nanites. Like, we did it, we saved the town, they're gonna love us now. You'll notice that there are no more of your local customers in here. Your staff are here, nailing boards to the windows on the outside, but inside the fish heads are just having a grand old time. And they're like, beat anything.
Okay.
So the bite bots don't go after wood? Is that what I'm understanding?
Not really, no. A lot of your technology is protected with natural coverings. The cable that was destroyed would have been hidden with a fibrous conduit made of old leaves and stuff to try to disguise it. It's and also camouflage it. It's really hard to see the electrical system.
Maybe we should cover your iron biceps with some greenery.
Green man.
Get you some bark armor.
I'll be stuffing any glass or anything that might be recyclable under some of
Who
these.
has a piece of bark armor?
Growing mushrooms on and covering them up.
All that science crap is just it's a little bit of waste of my time
Yeah,
to
I'm
listen
sciencing the shit out of this.
Yeah, Miguel, as a Savvyhead who works in organic materials, you are kind of your business is kind of uniquely resistant to the bite bots, as you don't rely quite so much on copper cables, steel brackets, that kind of
I'm
stuff.
not taking any chances.
So Trout, you not Trout, Smokey, you arrive. Trout's guys are being absolutely raucous. They're making a mess of your dining room as your staff attempts to bot-proof the windows as best they can. What do you do?
I will rally my employees. I'll say, everybody, we're going to need to be providing some lighter times for what's about to come. So I would like to gather as much of our supplies as we can take on the go with us to the center of town. I'd like some nice meals and drinks for the townsfolk.
they go, all right, these guys are drinking us out of all of our liquor. I don't know what's to celebrate right now, but we can pack up.
Let's get moving. And then Smokey's going to gather, while they're gathering all the food and drink, he's going to gather a bunch of different wire that he thinks might be able to be used for repairing stuff. And he will even start to disassemble, like the fight equipment if it needs to happen.
Oh, did you know? I was going to give you that as a downside to what you're trying to do. That's awesome. Yeah, you take a look at your systems, you see some of the armatures holding some of the cables up, have some aluminum bars in them. You see, you do have a lot of scrap cable back there. A lot of the stuff Trout was working on last night. He's not here right now. But you look around and there should be some kind of move for this. Well, it's not insider augury.
It's like some sort of gathering equipment or finding barter. It's a barter move.
I don't think it's a move because I don't think it's a charged situation, but I am going to give you this. You think, having heard Lightbulb Larry say he lost about 15 pounds of aluminum as the bait for, and my sense of scale is all off, that might be tiny, I don't know. But he lost a certain amount of aluminum for the bait, and you might probably have that material there, including a lot of aluminum, which they go for. But looking at what Trout worked on, you're not going to have the games going until you can find more material. You're gonna have to take apart a few of the crucial components, and you'll have to shut the games down if you're going to donate these materials to the Wire.
That's okay, because I believe that I can get a little bit of leverage over the elders, maybe, for providing this, and we'll get them back and running in no time.
You go to disassemble. Take some of the VR.
The main stage is probably down, but there's still probably side cubicles that still run.
You have some stuff, but your main event, the scene, you'll be putting it into downtime if you do this.
It's all right.
So you go to start to disassemble some of the components on the main stage, and one of the fish heads comes up to you and goes, hey, he's obviously drunk. Hey, we got a fight tonight. Come on, man. We got a fight tonight. Leave it there. Some of his buddies come up next to him it's tonight.
I'll walk up to him and put my hand on his shoulder and be like, the fight's been rescheduled. Trout needs some stuff back in the center of town.
Trout needs?
He's calling for as much of this aluminum cable as we can get.
Man, you're not Trout. Man, you're not Trout. You take orders from the boss. You don't even know this machinery, man. You're just a bartender.
You don't know me.
I'll stand up extra tall. Excuse me, but I am the owner of this establishment, and while you are here, you will do what I say.
That sounds like you want him to do what
seduction.
You say. You gave him a reason that you're in charge.
Seduction.
Go ahead and roll me plus hot for a seduce and manipulate.
Ooh, here we go.
Because I told them get ready for the fight tonight.
Oh, you got a 10.
Oh, awesome. Sweet. Okay. For a seduce or manipulate.
He did get real tall, though.
I'll go along with you. Unless some fact or action betrays the reason that you gave them. So the reason is Trout wanted them to?
That's what I'm telling him. Trout wants you to go and give them all this material that we're short for to repair the wire.
Yeah, that's the real reason, is to repair the wire.
Yeah. They go, right? Trout had us come back here to help out, to help out the fight against the bite butts. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, come on, guys, we're moving this shit. And they
They're
go,
not the wires you're looking for.
They're so
and they just start grabbing a bunch of stuff. They actually pick up some of the cables that are still plugged in, tearing them out of computers that you've gotten running, and tearing them down off the wall, and your whole setup is falling apart a little bit as these guys go to town
Get what you
over
paid for.
enthusiastically.
It's okay. I'm not the one who puts it all back up, so I'm not terribly.
Idiot trout heads.
You're like the mom going, "Oh, your father put this up. We can take it down."
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, the fish heads began moving all the wire to a stockpile in the center of town, as is part of the Whitebot emergency protocol. But they think it's because Trout told them to. Trout, you see a bunch of your guys, red in the face with alcohol, carrying a sack of cables. And they go, "Hey boss, we got those cables you asked for." As you're headed down towards the south gate on your way out east. So Pierce, Who, and Fingers, you are following with. Miguel, by the way, what were you hoping to do at the mycology?
Well, I was just going to cover up some of the things that were less organic, and I don't think that would take me very long. And so I can be out and rejoining the folks. I feel that my area is secure, and so I'll go out and rejoin the others.
Ah, so a cover-up, I see.
Yeah, you cover a lot of the metal on the outside of your building with sackcloth. You bury things in leaves. You bring the rest of it inside to hide it under floorboards. It doesn't take you too long, and you come out to see a group of Trout's followers coming up the hill with bags of stuff. And the guards, one of the guards walks up behind them and goes, "Now, you can't stay there, all right? Just drop the shit by the manor, by those lifts over there, and get right back on out of here, okay?" And they're all giggling and hooting and hollering. "Whoop, we got in. Yeah, man, we got in."
Glad somebody's having
Trout,
a good time.
No kidding.
Trout, these guys come up to you and go, "Man, we did what you said. We got all these cables here, and we're bringing them to the stockpile." What do you do?
What? I didn't tell you to do anything. I told you to go back to the arcade. Who told you to bring the cables here?
What? Well, didn't you say? Smokey said you told us that.
Are they aluminum cables?
Smokey? No. Who?
One of the guy in the back goes, "Yeah, I think there's a little aluminum back here. Yeah. This stuff looks like
give me
shit, but we could."
Still steal it from him.
Who you want to grab it from him?
Yep, 100%.
Oh, well, he's bigger than you. Why don't you?
He's drunker too.
He's bigger and he's drunker. Yeah.
I think
I'm wondering if this is it's not a go aggro. It's a
Go woo. Go
It
woo.
is not a go. It isn't a seize by force. I believe it's an act under fire. Then, if you could go ahead and roll me.
I will aid that and be like, I'll turn to my follower, the fish head, and be like, "Drop it, boy, drop it."
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and
roll
go ahead and
history.
roll. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, succeeds 10 for the.
Is that a +2?
I think so. Let me just double check help or hinder.
You have to roll with my knowledge, right? You did it with who? Okay.
Yeah, with it.
10 plus to take a +2 help. All right. Rolling in. I got an 11.
Nice.
Give me that.
Yeah.
She like
this
climbs
is-
around his back and like pulls
Grab
it
it,
off
boy.
and then jumps back to the ground. Pulls it
I-
open. Pulls out cables.
Yeah, you've got a bunch of stuff. There is a bunch of stuff in here. There's also like a chunk of there's also a chunk of a audio system casing still there. It looks like they might have ripped out one of the ports when they were pulling at this stuff. That doesn't look right, even to you, who.
Yoo-hoo! Big summer blowout.
And
I'll put that one back.
and Trout, they go, what do you mean? Didn't you say we needed to have this stuff to fight the bite bots?
I didn't tell you to do any of this shit. But you said Smokey told you to do it?
Yeah, boss. He said it was for the wire?
Yeah, no, I told you to do it. Yeah, no, it was me. I told Smokey to tell you to do it. Yeah, no, that was all me. Yep.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Attaboy, boss.
I also told you
Hey, give me that back.
Oh, she's got like half of the shit out on the ground already. She's
I
bit
think
into
I-
one of
I-
those things already, and then she started to throw. She's sorting it. Like you might be able to tell she's actually got it into like aluminum wires, copper wires, the console piece that you got with one bite in it, and a couple other pieces,
The one-
little
yeah.
piles of stuff.
Well,
The one fish head that reaches for who I slap him in the face, be like, get out of here.
Okay. He scurries back to his buddies like, yeah, he totally said it's good. We're just gonna grab the rest of this and they pick up their sacks of stuff and go, oh, they're gonna love us for this. They're gonna love us for this, helping out. And
They're gonna love
see,
you guys. You're doing great. You're doing great. Now get
You
back
see
to
some of
work.
the villagers don't want to deal with the fish heads at all, but
That rolling under fire there, that was cool. So I'm gonna get my fifth experience point
oh,
for
cool.
an improvement. I think I'm gonna get a new child thing move.
Sweet. What do you
Yeah.
get there? I have to open up the expanded rule set.
The one that seems might be apropos for coming up here is called Ferocious, Snarling, Shrieking, Biting, and quite possibly Rabid. When you go aggro on someone, roll plus weird instead of plus hard.
Oh boy,
Might need to use that soon.
you might.
So then do I reset it back to 0 experience?
Yes, it resets back to 0.
All right. Excellent.
Sweet. You took gnashing and biting. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Quite possibly rabid.
She winks at you.
Sounds like a girl I dated in high school.
You wink at me and I just stare at you. I unblinkingly stare at you.
She's not blinking either and just meeting your eyes. Maybe you can see little sparkles in her eyes and as her head sort of tips to the side.
Little froth around the
Right.
corners of her mouth.
Yeah, she's got stars in her eyes, and they don't fade when you come her way.
Well, because she's
You're
looking.
gonna go places, kid. You're gonna
Her
go
eyes are
places.
full of the maelstrom.
There,
Could be.
there.
Oh, I forgot to make it take -1 to the weird, but you know it goes
Yeah,
away.
still 10.
Even it would still be a success. So
Yeah. All right, so that's good. That's fair. So it was technically a 10, but yes, it's gone now. You said because it was one roll, right?
yeah,
Okay, good.
there was a downside to it.
Might be a more bigger impact next time.
All right.
Thanks, Trout.
So yeah, you have successfully donated a bunch of stuff to the pile of scrap. You might need to do some extra work to get that all out to where the wire is at. Yeah, what do you all do?
If we need
We're
to bring
headed
this
out
out
east.
to the if we need to bring this out to the wire, I'll just have my crew, again, the fish heads, bring it out with us.
You don't have a technician with you who could install it.
Yeah, where are we
like,
gonna investigate the the spot where we thought that the radio was stolen, and she saw
Yes,
you
like an
guys
hour
were
ago.
first.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Well, let's go.
Try to get everyone to go there.
All right. Yeah, they let you out the gate. There's a lot of people coming and going. The guard looks at you a little funny, Trout, and he goes,
Haha,
"Well,
funny.
Donating to the cause. I can't say no to that. Go on through."
Yeah, just remember, the fish heads did this.
And I look
on
back
my
at him
armor.
like,
And yeah, so you all move east out past the wire. You see the bonfires that had been lit are mostly out by now. You can still see a little of the powdery dust that's evidence of some destroyed swarms of bite bots. Okay, yeah, you can. Cool. Yeah, you head out into the woods a little ways. Who takes the lead here? Does who take the lead, or does somebody else?
I do not.
Overland, you're not
stand-
exactly in your element. You have the
No, I-
tunnels underneath here.
I stand directly behind Trout.
Pierce would take the lead.
Okay.
I'll be behind
Um,
Pierce. Who is behind Trout? Where are you behind?
And
I'll,
I don't know who's on third.
Are you, Graham? Are you with us? I don't remember if you're with us
Yeah,
or
I'm
not.
with you.
Okay.
Yeah, he came out to us.
Okay. All right. Miguel, where are you at? Who are you behind?
I'll be sort of taking up the rear, sort of secondarily looking out for any.
That's a video we don't want to see.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you take point, I'll take blunt. Yeah, I'll sort of be secondarily on the lookout for any exotic fungi that might be growing out there.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, you arrive. You see a place, Pierce, that you have seen before. You reach the patrol path, the perimeter that you patrolled at night that night, and you look around. You do find, you know what you're looking for, and you do find the tire tracks in near a tree. But you don't see any other dropped objects or missing tools. Yeah, is there anything you check for in particular? You come up to one of the traps. Again, it is a cage like a bug zapper. No electricity runs through it currently. But it would zap all of the bite bots that come through to get the bait. But you see that since this has been disconnected, that mesh has been sliced and the bait stolen. It's a similar job to what happened at the other one that you've seen.
Well, if he's just kind of staring there, I will step up kind of around Pierce and take a look down.
Yeah, This is.
He's literally
I found
staring
it.
at it like a deer in headlights.
Yep.
I walk around.
There we go. We're here.
I look
I'll
down and
stand guard.
I look over at him and I'm like, yes, like a good NPC.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and stand over in the corner.
Yeah, when something tries to get you, I'll remember.
I know. That's why
Miguel, I will say you do see again the places where the cable was dug up. You even being more familiar with it, you even see some shreds of the conduit that was used to hide it.
A shred of evidence.
A literal shred of evidence. It looks
Yes.
like that must have been left over from when they cut it.
All right. Well, anybody here see anything out of the ordinary? I'm gonna look around and do some type of investigation with anybody else who wants to help.
Yeah,
Miguel,
I'll
I
look
just
around.
want to nudge to you that you do have the things speak move if you would like to get
Yes,
a little
I would
weird
like
with
to do
it. This may be something important to touch.
Yes. I'll make a roll on things speak.
All right, what does things speak to?
Things speak happens when you touch an object. So there's a number of objects here. There's a scrap of conduit, a scrap of, I wouldn't say conduit. It's more of a sheath, like a natural fiber wrap. But it's woven. It's like a little cable basket. You see tire tracks. And you see the slashed bug net that was the trap before it was raided.
I would like to take that piece of the piece of sheathing. Just take it in my hand, and I want to do a things speak roll. I want to know who handled it last.
Okay. You'll have to roll plus weird here. If anybody has a who's weird here? I mean, who is weird?
I'm very
I've got pretty good weird.
I got +3 to
weird.
weird.
Who's got a +1? Who's got bonuses for Miguel on their hex? I got a +1.
I got a +1 for Miguel.
Go for it.
Okay, so Miguel takes out a little box and he takes a little pinch of spores and he just goes,
Nice.
and he starts handling this thing.
And does it speak to you is the question. So is somebody trying to help? Because they
I don't think I need help.
I don't think you do either. With a weird 6/6, that's a 14.
The attempted to help didn't do any good, so it was just a neutral 0.
All right, cool. But yeah, with a success, that's a great success. You get to ask me 3 questions. So I'll go ahead and copy paste these into here, but you see that list. You get to ask me 3 of these.
Okay.
We don't need to worry about treating a miss at the moment. Your brain is safe for now. So you get to ask me 3 questions about what happened with this conduit.
Okay. Who handled this last before me?
Sorry, just catching up with my notes. Who handled?
Reaching out.
You hold this piece of fiber, and you feel the like unskilled hands of somebody with a sharpened shovel strikes through the dirt. And as you see from the perspective of this cable, it opens it up. You see a biker in spiky gear with face paint across his face. He's got a shovel and a bunch of cutters, and a man stands behind him. This sharply armored bike raider was the last person to handle this.
Okay, question number 2. What words have been said most recently nearby this?
Who?
Get some info. Now we're getting somewhere.
Let's see. You hear, again, from the perspective of this buried cable, you hear, when you leave, head back to the northeast, or you're gonna run into his patrol route. Go quick. Those were the last words heard by this object.
Okay. Okay. Head back northeast, right?
Yeah, and do you have 3 questions you get to ask?
I get 3 questions.
All right.
One more.
Let's make it count.
What if
All
there's
right, Bridgekeeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ladies follow?
Okay.
Who does number 2 work for?
What strong emotions have most recently been nearby this?
What strong emotions have been most recently nearby this?
Yeah, like if it's sinister, is it somebody's trying to...
You get 2 different feelings from this as these spores, as your vision and your hearing get a little woo. You start to get a feeling from this. You get the two emotions of two people this thing was around. You get the emotion of elation of a plan coming to fruition.
We're being attacked by the A-team.
I love it when a plan comes together. But you also
Later, fools, my
feel,
bite box.
you also feel the stomach-wrenching guilt of a man betraying something that he knows he has to betray.
Oh, this is all Noah. I'm calling it right now. This is
Nah,
all-
it's Pierce.
it's Noah. Noah's doing it all.
Pierce, you don't think it was you. You're pretty sure it wasn't you. It wasn't you.
I'm gonna put 2 barter down on Noah being the one doing it.
I'll eat that.
You're gonna eat that? All right.
No, I mean I'll eat it. I don't have any barter to.
Just eat the barter.
Thanks, barter.
Yeah, you get this feeling. You get sort of lost in this feeling of betrayal, and your heart sinks because you feel so strongly for this person who has to do something horrible, and then you come back to your senses for a moment with Prue tugging on your
It was an
sleeve.
inside, right? It was an inside job.
And she wants to eat the conduit you're holding.
Sounds like a
to
colonoscopy.
eat
I had.
the casing.
I think I'm going to need this.
I saw where you went. You come back. You come back. Here, no more hallucinate.
I saw where you went is the
she'll hold-
scariest
she'll
thing to
hold-
say to somebody after that.
She'll hold his head a little bit in her hand.
I'm
So-
still a
Like
little
his face.
stoned.
I'll start flashing lights in your eyes. Like, "Woo."
Not now, coming down.
There he
No,
is.
no, no.
There he is. He's back. He's back.
We're gonna have a rave.
So yeah, as the effect of the spores clears out and you take a deep breath of fresh air, Miguel, you come back and you know that a couple of people were around this thing, and somebody was giving instructions to a guy who was digging, something about a patrol route, something about betrayal, a lot of guilt you felt, but it's not yours, and you're sort of coming back to your own emotions, a little confused. What do you all do?
We go arrest Noah.
I open up my little box and go, man, that's good
Yeah,
shit.
instantly.
Are you gonna explain what you saw?
Yep. Yep.
Well, what do you all think? He's hearing voices, first of all, which is somewhat disturbing.
That's normal.
Yeah, it is.
Can we do these without the bait?
Miguel, you know that no, without the bait, some of them would get zapped and the rest would flow through.
They just ignore it.
You'd have to, if you didn't have bait, you would have to wrap this entire establishment, the whole place, in a solid link.
Right.
And you
makes
don't have
sense.
the material for that, hence the traps to kill them. The ringing in your ears is gone, but you hear a movement.
Snap
You hear
my
like
head
a
around.
rabbit or something
Look
jumping
where
around.
look where I heard the noise.
You don't see anything just yet, but why don't you read a situation?
I could do that. I'm also wondering if I can use the open my brain instead, because it's about the current situation, right? Something new and interesting.
Yeah.
One little help opening your brain.
When
Well, there you go.
you
That's how you
offer
can help.
the box. When you open your brain to the world's psychic maelstrom, roll plus weird. On a hit, I'm going to tell you something new and interesting about the current situation. Might ask you a question.
We're gonna spur all the weird on this one right now. Just spend it. Like we're tired of looking for this killer or this fence person.
I feel like, but I feel like it's fitting. Like she would kind of try to see through the world to see what's happening over there, rather than like literally going and investigating it or reading it myself.
Okay.
That works for
go
you.
ahead and roll plus weird. Do you partake
holding
a
on to-
little bit in the
In a little,
mushroom
little bit of
spores?
spore.
I am like right in his face right now, and I was patting his cheek. So if you want to if you have a hex and you want to give me an aid, go for it.
Sure.
Just takes it and shoves it in your face. Here.
You just roll plus hex, right, for the person.
Roll
For
for
help or
who?
interfere, yes. Unless your fingers who uses sharp, and somebody else might be able to do that. But typically, yes, it's with your hex. With the character you're trying to help or hinder. So Miguel,
Hey, who
please
are you trying to
roll
help
me-
again? Woo? Who? I keep calling her Woo now. Not I made a mistake in my brain.
No.
Woohoo.
Exactly. All right, go give who the roll.
Yeah, it's on there.
Roll the
Yeah, you roll the HX against who, and that you're trying to reach a target.
Okay.
It's over on the right side under your history.
Yeah. So who? Is it rolling?
There's probably a bonus window that's popped up right now. And
Yeah.
you have to pick
not-
one of the things.
Yeah.
Or hit cancel.
See, let me try. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. Hang on. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Oh, nope.
Yes.
No bonus.
You you
Alright,
give
roll my
her
weird.
a little bit of the mushroom powder you just did. So she's now on a similar wavelength to you, and in opening her brain, it's ooh,
Not really helping.
You get a -2?
you're going to be
No.
involved in it too.
I don't get a minus, but if he was trying to hinder me with trying to give me a minus, it also wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it's a good thing he's on your side. So when you
Kind of.
open your brain, who
Yeah. So I got a 9.
on a 7 to 9, I give you an impression.
Okay.
You sense, for some reason, you sense the movement of servo motors before you hear the footfalls of a drone. Something about the magnetism in there. You hear it first as
hoping
it
for us
is
to learn.
approaching you here outside
say
the
it.
wire.
I'll say it out loud.
You
Yeah.
outside.
Servos, motors. It's coming.
The rest of you hear it after who. You could hear it a little bit too, Miguel. But now your organic ears are picking up the sound of heavy metal footfalls approaching your position. What do you do?
I
You're
look at
outside the
Pierce.
wire again. The drones own this place.
What do we do, Pierce?
Let's see.
We either run or we fight. Take your pick. The blade comes out, and pulls his gun.
How big is it?
Well, it's about 6.5 feet tall when it comes exploding out of the woods at you.
Whoa!
You see,
Oh, God.
this is a hasty sketch. I have decided that it's September who's making all these sketches. This is what she does out there beyond the wire, and this is the best she could do without getting spotted. But you see what you call a prospector, an avian-looking thing with a massive drill on its face. It appears, from what you gather about these things, they search for materials to be harvested and seem to be connected somehow with the function of the bite bots. How, you're not sure, because when they reach something organic, they seem to want to probe the contents of its heart with the drill. Pierce,
Okay.
you have personally seen it happen. Pretty much instantly dismembered a guy He got his claws on him, and then drilled right through his heart, and then just left him there like he wasn't interested. But this thing comes crashing out of the woods, head darting around like some kind of mechanical steel bird. What do? You're not quite sure if it's targeting you, who it's targeting.
It sees us, though, right?
It does. You see its sensors lock on you for a second, and who you feel a ringing in your ears again. What do?
I will attack. I will shoot this fucking thing.
You go.
Come in peace,
You go
shoot to
first.
kill.
We're going aggro.
Yeah.
I think so. What's the
suckering
goal
then?
of this
I suppose
attack?
you could miss though, couldn't you?
You can miss. I don't think it's a sucker. I think it's a go aggro. I guess, are you shooting to kill or are you shooting to break contact?
I'm
right.
shooting to kill. And
Okay.
If I'm going aggro, I can use cool. So.
All right.
Can we all go like around the same round here, or is that how you're gonna do this?
Yeah, we don't really have rounds in this game, right? We just kind of go.
Yeah.
Is there
I have
some kind
been-
of control mechanism? Is there like a brain or like a CPU or something?
You're not a tech. In this instant, it's going to be hard for you to check that.
All right.
You are focused on making an attack. What weapon are you using?
Well, it's close, right? I can fire my gun,
The bird is in close range.
but it's not touch. How does the range work? I'm not.
It is in close range. I'll basically tell you when it closes range.
So it's still
in
at
the
it.
future. I could use sort of a mocked up battle, but
But
actually, let's go ahead and.
It's
I'm
a bit of a
gonna-
distance, right?
Yeah, he is not within arm's reach yet.
All right, I'm
he's-
gonna go aggro too. I'm using my new trick. While he's shooting, I'm gonna be ferocious, snarling, shrieking, biting in the air threateningly, and quite possibly rabid.
Let's go ahead and do Pierce's action and then move
Yep.
to who quick.
All right, Pierce, take this thing out.
I know.
She's just like a crazy monkey
No
behind
one's
you.
helping.
I guess it's kind of hard to help with an attack with one
That's
of
okay,
your
I
personal
got it.
weapons here.
Yeah, you roll the 10. I think he's doing just fine.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get a clock for our guy here. But yeah, you get a success on your go aggro.
NPCs.
You go ahead and tell me.
Name them, but you
What's that?
can't leave home without them.
On a 10 plus, they got to choose to force your hand and suck it up, and the other one is cave and do what you want. I think they're gonna force your hand and suck up the damage. They're gonna retaliate, but since you're going aggro, you get to go ahead and deal your harm. So how much damage does your weapon do?
3.
3. You see its whole crack, but from here, shooting at its front plates, you see it only takes one segment of harm.
Ooh, armor too. Huh?
Yes, it does have armor too.
This
The
guy's
clocks
serious.
work weird. First segment is 3. So yeah, you deal a point of harm to you, but it begins charging. Who you also wanted to go aggro at this moment. So before it is able to close the distance, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm snarling and making a bunch of shrieking noises and just like screaming basically as he's firing. Sort of running around kicking up dust and making a ruckus. Generally, she might be rabid.
Might?
Okay.
Might be.
Do you try to attack the thing or?
I'm trying to. I guess I'm trying to get it to move along.
Okay.
Like
so
we're
you're trying
big
to
and
scare
scary.
it off.
Yeah, we're big and scary.
Using a threat of violence to scare something off is like the number one go aggro. So what did you get for that one?
Got a 7 on that one.
So
it's
mixed
a partial.
success on go aggro. They can choose one of the above or one of the following. I think they're going to barricade themselves in. You see, this thing ducks behind a tree, and it retreats to the destroyed section of the wire. Actually, it tries to hide itself behind that thing. It gets out of the way of your weapons, Pierce, but. You confuse this thing enough, its audio sensors must be going a little off. You see it.
And the dust
It's
could
confused
probably
by
mess
you.
with its sight a little bit too. Yes, excellent. And that's a weird, I'll take my experience.
Yeah.
We got it. Cool.
Miguel, you're seeing this go down. Whose ferocity seems to scare this avian drone a little bit. It buys you a second. What do you do?
Well, see, I will run in behind Pierce and try to frighten it some more.
Okay. Do you have any? I suppose you don't have many weapons on you. Did you take a? Oh, you do have a hunting rifle handy. If you would like,
Yeah, I'll take a shot.
try to use that. Okay. I think a hunting rifle is a. Not rifle. What?
Come on, rifle this thing.
Yeah, 3 harm, far loud. He's at a bit of a distance. You are able to take a shot. He is hidden in. For a shot on the guy, I'm going to give you a -1 to this, just because he did barricade himself behind this installation.
Okay, so that would be a hard.
Yes, yeah. We are now, I think we're pretty solidly in battle with this thing, so we're going to make it a... I suppose this could be a lay down fire if you're trying to simply keep it pinned in its location.
Do some damage.
But if you're trying to get around and destroy it, we might call that just an exchange of harm.
We're mostly a
Kingdom Fire
D&D group,
seems
so we're
smart.
doing damage. Subtleness is lost on us.
So do we do is that a hard roll or?
I think doing battle is a hard roll, yes, so you're gonna...
Is that what you want to do, Graham?
Yep,
Or lay down fire?
yep. I'll take a shot at
Take
it.
a shot at it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Shoot!
Exchanging harm. Oh, I don't think this would be...
That's a bad miss.
Boom.
Oh.
Oh,
It can be
dear.
worse than a bad mess. Did you shoot your
right.
shoot your shrooms off?
You
Shot
see-
Trout in the head.
You see this thing, it sort of turns its sensors to examine the cage. You see it takes a few pecks with this drill, but when you fire at it, you hit the drill. It sends this thing sort of reeling for a moment, and then it turns, it fixes its sensors on you, and charges you down like an ostrich. going
I slowly
top
step
speed.
away.
Okay. Fingers steps away, but Miguel, this thing closes into arm's reach. We call this, I think it's hand distance. It closes into arm's reach, and it rears up one of its claws What do you all do? You're pretty close together.
Trout finds the biggest rock and runs behind it and goes into the fetal position.
Yeah.
Oh, the hero that Trout is. What will we do without
I
him?
hear your Trout is standing Overwatch. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, no. Trout is he's surveying. He's make sure you're safe. Don't worry. He runs.
Act under fire. The fire is being included in this thing's targets now that it's been sort of enraged.
Okay.
You see some of the lights in its chest flash blink red a few times.
For doing that, I will get 5 experience.
Hey,
There we go. A miss. Oh no. I got a 6.
Okay.
But I got a 5 experience out of it.
On a miss here, you turn to move, and this thing steps into your way. And behind you is Miguel. Ahead of you is this thing. You could cut the other way, and Miguel would take this thing.
I throw Miguel at the thing.
Nice.
Brutal.
Immediately throw Miguel at the thing to get out
Okay.
of.
That's an achievement at Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh boy.
He picks up Miguel. And throw Miguel.
No thought.
You grab Miguel. You, as a player, should have a chance to. I don't know if this would be a help or hinder.
Does not seem like a help though.
No.
Can I help? Trout? No, I'm teasing.
Well, damn, Trout. That's really cold. Okay, you're faced
It
with the
is.
choice of taking a hit from this thing or letting Miguel get it.
Yeah.
Miguel Trout gets in your way and then grabs you and shoves you forward. This thing stomps on Miguel. Oh dear, Miguel, you're going to take some harm from this thing. Its claws deal 2 harm. Do you have any armor? Oh, I suppose not. Oh dear, I don't think you have any armor.
Speak of, but
Oh boy. All right. Well, it closes into. It grabs you with a pronged foot, like a bird's claw. Steel digs into your chest and your clothes, pins you to the ground. You take 2 harm.
No,
so
you're almost dead.
Miguel, you're gonna mark 2 sections. This puts you to 6 o'clock on the harm clock.
okay.
And you're going to need to roll suffer harm, which happens whenever you take an injury.
Roll low.
This is the one you want to roll low.
Did you literally roll
wait.
2 ones? He rolled 2
Perfect.
ones.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
good.
okay.
This is awesome.
On a miss, I can choose something from the list of extra damage effects, but I would deal you 1 less harm.
The nice
for
thing is
that.
when we bury you, shrooms will appear to the ground.
That's true.
A ring.
Magic mushroom ring.
And I'll make a
Balls
tunnel
appear
to
around
his
my head.
gravesite.
Yeah, I think, yeah. One of the choices for me is you lose your footing. So I will say that the knocking you to the ground, pinning you by your chest, that is you losing your footing. So instead, you will only take 1 harm, instead of some of the harm you were suffering. Yes, so we'll reset you back to 3 o'clock, which
Good
may
roll.
come in handy.
Oh.
Because
I'm confused. So he went up to 6 o'clock and then he rolled and he got almost like a crit failure and now he took less damage.
Yeah,
But
so
now he's
he-
in a fucked position.
when you suffer harm, and if you take a look at peripheral moves, it's the
Okay.
first on that list.
Got it.
When you suffer harm, basically you roll plus the damage you deal. That's why it had to be a backwards thing, because the more damage you take, the harder it is to get that low roll.
Okay.
And if you roll high, basically doing bad on that harm roll, I get to add some extra damage effects based on the
terrible damage.
based on the thing, I can either have you take more damage, but it's cooler to be like, make them lose their stuff, lose track of something, lose your footing.
Okay.
It's kind of a way for them to do more interesting damage than just numerical.
Sure. All right. So you're on your ass right now.
Forward to this.
So he's on his ass right now.
Yeah.
He's on his
He's on his
back.
ass.
He has its
This
claws,
bird
and
is
beak is like poised.
Nice.
the beak. The sound of a dentist's drill. This thing has him pinned by the chest, and it's
It has a
Firing up the
talent
drill.
for causing pain.
A dentist's
you are
drill for
hiding.
Godzilla.
You see
Miguel, you are-
you see Fingers gets this little smile on his face, like it's gonna happen.
So, who or Pierce or Fingers? Do you do anything
Yeah.
in this moment?
What's Fingers doing? Because a lot of us had things that we already did.
Yeah.
Well, who else? Am I the
will
only
say
one who hasn't
without-
done anything?
Yep.
Okay.
I will say, just because of the non-turn thing, I'm keeping a tally, and I'm trying to push whoever has the lower tally when it's applicable.
Okay,
I'll
I'll
let
you run it then. Who do you want to fish out for the tally?
Well, frankly, Fingers Trout has dived away. Miguel is stuck. Pierce is already fighting, and who is already fighting? What do you do in this situation? You see Miguel gets pinned by this avian
I'm gonna
robot.
try to help get him up. I'm gonna try to help
Okay.
pull him off.
All right. So, okay, go ahead and roll plus your history with Pierce. No, your history with Miguel, please.
So I get
I have a-
so Miguel, I have a 1, but because my playbook move is professional compassion, you can roll plus sharp instead of roll plus
yeah.
history when you help.
Roll plus sharp, you get an extra
Nice.
2 bonus
plus
to
3
that.
with
That's
that one.
a very strong stat.
I'm helping you
I
out.
have a custom move for this droid.
Don't thank me. All right, I got a 10 because of that plus 3.
Nice. All right, cool.
Yes.
I have a custom move that comes into effect when the prospector gets its claws on you. Miguel, I want you to roll plus hard, and we'll add 2 to your final roll because of Fingers' expert help.
Okay.
So, this is basically your robot wrestling ability.
Oh yeah.
Jesus
Wow.
That's a perfect time
Robot
for
wrestling.
success.
Come on, get your robot wrestling.
All right, perfect.
Good
With a
max right
success,
there.
on a hit, you'll get both of these. You will escape its grasp. You
Yes.
are now in hand range. You, with Fingers' help, you're able to knock this thing over. It takes a second to stumble. It spins down its drill because it's fighting the force of that spinning drill. And Miguel, you're able to slip out, and get to your feet. You have a chance to, when you do that, you see a spot on its underbelly is exposed. This thing falls over. When you roll a hit on this prospector move, you have a chance to attack, ignoring a point of armor.
Let's do it.
I'll give that chance to
Yeah,
anybody.
that's pretty good.
Nearby
That chance
for
to
the moment.
anybody? Oh, I know who should take that one.
Well, that's
Look
you,
at
right?
Pierce.
Is that who gets to take it? Is it one person who gets to take it?
Yeah. Essentially, after that move happens, then it will either lead into somebody else's move, obviously, or if not, I will have to do one of my moves.
I
which would
picture
be-
myself grabbing Miguel, and I kind of, he's got the claws on him. I kind of figure like I'm grabbing him, Miguel, and as I do so, I look at the bird coming down, and I just kind of try to push at the bird as hard as possible. I'm kind of small, but just enough to kind of make him pull that claw up a little bit. You come rolling off at the same time.
Yeah.
And just when you do, it tips over on its side. That's awesome.
You get lucky here at some point in its strike. You push it and it falls over.
Yes. So make the strike.
Does Pierce want
NPC.
to?
Come on,
Does Pierce want to take the shot?
Yeah,
Take the shot.
I'll take a shot,
Take the shot.
All right, Pierce.
Nice.
and I'll use my blade just because it's cool.
Cool.
It's not a lightsaber though. That's trademark.
No, it unspools from your arm.
Am I doing something under fire here?
I don't think there is a fire. I think in battle we're gonna. I mean, for a second, this might be a sucker someone. Honestly, it is helpless. If you could miss, I think you could miss. So let's treat it as going aggro,
Okay.
but the victim has no choice to cave and do what you want. It just has to force your hand. So go ahead and roll me plus hard. We'll treat it as a go aggro, but
Well, I
they're
can
not
use cool
able
for that.
to.
All right,
stop
cool it
you.
up.
Well, there's stand overwatch, which is kind of related. You just apply harm when something else happens. Kind of. What
I
happens?
think I would have been doing that. Well, yeah,
I'm just saying it's somewhat applicable because the creature just fell down. The way it's described in here is you roll plus cool. On a hit, if anyone attacks or interferes with your ally, you attack them and inflict harm as established.
Yeah,
kinda
I
like-
treat standing overwatch as like a prepared action in a more
that's
traditional battle thing.
Sure, makes sense.
And in this moment, you have like a just a moment to get at that weak point. Once this
So
thing gets
aggro
back on its feet, it's going to face stronger armor towards you.
partially success.
Partial success on the.
I go grab my
aggro.
guitar. Can I give you inspiration? NPC Wildenate.
I think it only really makes
NPC ain't that
sense
great.
for them to. Yeah, how much harm do you do with that thing?
3.
3 harm. Jeez.
Jeepers.
With your
You
sword?
subtract- You hit
Nice.
it in the weak point. It takes 2 points of harm, and that brings it to 9, which
Excellent.
for a creature means it's dying. And for this, it means you whip it, you see a shower of sparks as you cleave through a thinner piece of plating and catch it on some of its linkages in there. You see it splatters oil on the tree next to it, and it starts to stumble backwards.
Ooh.
You see the lights in it change, and it starts to move away from you. It gets the hell out of your way with that partial success on
Nice.
And that brings
Good
me
job.
to 5.
Go aggro.
Oh,
Yeah.
for
Brings it to 5.
serious?
Sweet. All right, let's.
Nice.
Well, I also got 2 of 5.
Nice.
All right.
Levels everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do. I guess before we address that, does anybody give chase to this thing? It moves to
Oh yeah,
move to the
we were
woods.
trying to. We want to get it down.
Yeah, we want to. Yeah.
Most importantly,
Okay.
what is
It
it
is-
made out of?
Yeah.
What is it made? This bird thing made out of?
I want it in my lab.
That seemed like some kind of steel or something. You haven't got your hands on it exactly yet.
Is it- you know what I bet
I
it's
mean, you
worth?
know that those claws were hardened. You could
Bet it's
feel
worth-
that, Miguel.
bet it's worth at least 15 pounds of aluminum.
There might be some on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanna have a
It
look at
is
some of those
limping off into the woods.
I would have.
Who the
Shoot it,
ringing in your
right.
ears becomes quieter,
Excellent.
remorseful, sad. You're not quite sure what the hell you're hearing.
Aw, birds have feelings. Kill it.
But this thing, its motors are going all wrong.
Everybody knows that.
It's unable to use one of its legs properly. You see this thing is kind of hopping as it moves. What do you do?
Shoot it.
Miguel, you are back on your feet, holding a hunting rifle.
Yep.
Can I?
I can
do.
take
You're the
another
cat. Oh, he can do. Go for it.
Come on, Miguel. Shoot the thing.
I'll do. I'll do
this
stand
thing.
overwatch in case it comes back at him.
Okay. Who you take up a position near Miguel as he goes to take a shot.
All right, okay. Go ahead and make a
Miguel,
shot.
I feel like this is.
That was my roll.
Aw.
Cool.
Oh, you doubled up.
Partial success on Overwatch.
Yep.
If anyone attacks or interferes, you can attack them. But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do
And Miguel got
harm
a
as
partial.
established. I almost think this is a do something under fire. You could miss. Yeah, no, this is a go aggro because it is a sucker someone, but you could miss. So please roll me plus hard, Miguel.
Okay.
I thought you did.
Yeah, I thought I did there.
Yeah, roll an 8.
Yes. Oh, there it is. Partial success. All right. Yeah, frankly, with as long as you hit it, I don't think it mattered. The rifle round would be able to deal the remaining harm to destroy this thing.
Excellent.
It hits 10 o'clock. Its life becomes untenable, and the prospector, with a horrible screeching sound,
We'll call this
Thinking
thing
miners.
Stinky Pete, the prospector.
And the ringing goes quiet.
He came out of his box. That's
Quieter.
the problem.
Quieter.
Okay, shouldn't have done that.
Stinky
it is
Pete.
not nearly as quiet as your tunnels, Who, but
No.
the sound is a little less unbearable now.
All right. We're gonna run up and
The
we're gonna run
machine
up and-
stops moving.
We're gonna run up and try to and investigate this thing. Whoever can. Does anybody have mechanical abilities?
Well, Miguel has some ability. He's at least as sharp as a Savvyhead. It's not his specialty.
Who's injured right now?
Pierce does have some.
I'm still injured from before.
Miguel, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm injured. Yeah, probably not more than you.
I'm sitting at 6 o'clock still.
Yeah, take care of him first.
Yeah, he's an NPC.
Yeah, Miguel will shoulder his rifle, just batteries not included.
You see, looking at the wreckage of this thing, you're lucky you didn't hit a battery. It looks like you got pretty close. You see that that whip just barely missed some of the some oil lines. And Miguel, looking at it, you do see some power cells were exposed by that same blow. You're lucky your rifle round didn't puncture it, or this thing would be on fire right now.
All right. Well, is there any way you can get some stuff out of this? Hey, would you get some? We can get some stuff for the line out of this. It needs 15 pounds of metal.
Right, sure, I'm gonna try.
You look at this thing. You have all seen human-made machines. There isn't a single exposed screw on this thing. No obvious plates that slide off. This is not a machine made for humans.
Or by
You have no idea how to disassemble this thing in the field.
It's one of Mother's machines. I think I get up from behind the rock that I was hiding, and I shamble over.
Brave.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. Thank you.
I'm just
Fingers,
gonna look at Trout and look away.
I tried to get you out of the way. I just, the rocks that I just fell, It's,
Man,
Yeah, right. Fish head.
I almost wonder if
He's not a fish head. He runs the fish heads.
we'll talk about the change to history in our session end, but I
Right.
feel like somebody knows a little bit more about somebody else now.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. So yeah, I'm saying that in order to break this thing down, you're probably going to have to bring it back to the city and work on it more intensely.
Is there any
Okay.
visible antenna type pieces on there that we can break off and leave here in the woods?
There,
She scours it on
Come and
the
drill
top
it.
and the back of it.
I would say this situation is still charged. So, why don't you roll me a read a charge situation quick?
Yeah, you got it. Which one is that? That's
Roll
sharp.
plus sharp, please.
All right.
And then I think we should
I mean, we're still not much closer to
Where you
figure out
going?
what's going on here.
Oh,
a little bit.
maximum.
Wow.
There you go. 13.
Okay. Yeah, you get a pretty good idea as what's going on here. You you can ask the 3 questions.
Are you opening your brain to this thing?
Nope, I just did read a sitch this time.
Just our eyes. So you get 3 questions then. Where's my best escape route? What's most vulnerable? Biggest threat? What should I look out for? What's the enemy's true position and who is in control?
You know what? Let's start with who's in control of this thing. I was kind of feeling some of the signals and the ringing as you're describing. So, like, who is in control here?
You get the sense that you look over this thing, and Trout, you see what looks to be maybe like Wi-Fi antennas on the back of this thing. You see this thing looks very receptive to signal. It looks like it's being controlled remotely instead of doing quite so much thinking for itself. You don't see a lot of room for processors. You don't see a exhaust vent that would suggest a very active CPU.
Or AI unit.
Yeah, you see it does take direction from something via those antennas.
And then, so yeah, she's like kind of poking at those antennas and stuff right now. And then second question is, let's see, what should I be on the lookout for?
Well, you should be on the lookout for anything else that comes looking for this robot. You should be on the lookout for more of it, really.
There's always a bigger fish.
And
All right.
you feel that whatever you were hearing just then, something else might have also heard.
All right.
Yeah,
And then
the rifle is loud.
The rifle is very loud, but the signal that who heard could also be.
Yeah, cool. So you mentioned that it's possible and quite likely that something else was sort of in control of it there.
Yeah.
What is their true position?
Everywhere. You try to reach your mind out for it, and
It's sort of the swarm, the botnet.
you hear the ringing in your ears increase as you try to gain connection to it, and you just hear a feminine voice go, "Access denied."
It's a different mother. There's more mothers out there. You hear her just like she's poking at the antenna and like caressing this thing's face area. Like, there's more mothers. This is not from my mother. And she'll start to pull off the antenna, just like breaking all that stuff, that part of it off. So so it wouldn't have any communication. Hopefully, is the point, right?
So, what of this do you bring back?
How heavy is this thing?
Heavy enough that you'll probably need all of you to work together to drag it comfortably. Maybe 2 of you could do it if you had all day. But 400, 500 pounds?
Oof.
Oh, geez.
You'll be dragging it.
We could do that.
We can drag most
do
of it. We just got to drag it to the front gate. They should have enough people there to start disassembling it.
Yeah, we just need to get close to town. We don't need to bring it in the center or anything.
We just need to get 15 pounds worth of aluminum type of material off this to give this to
Light bulb Larry.
Okay.
Conversely, I could just get my cult to come out here and they could do it themselves. They could just carry it.
Well,
Bring it back to
but how are you going to get around town?
Yeah. It's true.
You have to walk then. That's no fun.
Does Trout have like a palanquin type thing?
Why
Yeah.
don't you, Trout?
I'm not
That's a good
sure.
idea. We got all the people. We got all the people back there. You could get them. You could get them to help. They're strong.
Yeah. No, they're definitely really strong.
Look at me. I'm just pulling.
And I just think back. The last time I saw them, they were all very drunk. No, they're perfect for this. This will work wonderfully. Yeah, I'll go get my guys and have them carry it back.
Okay.
You got a guys.
I got guys
So we're
for
going
this.
to leave this here. You destroyed the antenna.
I think. I mean, yeah. I guess I'll head back, grab my guys. I don't know if you guys want to stay here, but I'll head back, grab my guys, come back, and then they will carry it in for us.
Well, at about 1 p.m., you all hear this. Smokey, you hear this. I mean, obviously, you fired a few shots out of that hunting rifle, but you hear a single gunshot towards the center of town.
Crap.
So we're at the gates of town.
Your plan was to head that way.
Yeah.
If you're planning on leaving the robot to be disassembled by Trout's guys later, you can get to town a lot faster. But you hear gunfire that away. That wasn't yours. And Smokey, you hear this too. Most of the guys in the arcade don't react too much, but your staff go, that was by the Elders Manor.
That is
What's
the
going
point where Smokey will tell his crew to like grab the cart full of supplies and drinks and food and all the other stuff and start heading to the middle of town.
All right.
That's our cue, boys. Moves on.
From out in the nearby woods. Who's like, where? Where was that? Where was that? Who was that? Did you do that? Should we go
You
back?
heard it in the direction of Greenhill.
Let's go.
From
Guys,
here,
we
you
should
can
go.
just barely see the top of the Elders Manor. Charles and Noah live in a 2-story with an attic, a big sprawling building that somebody built up there for a lot of money way back when.
Let's go faster.
Okay.
Just tugging on Trout. Come on.
Oh God, I'm moving as fast as I can. Come on.
All right.
Literally just dragging.
Load a couple of
Smokey, you go with Trout's guys. When they came back, they told you, when those 3 guys you sent out with the first bag of stuff came back, they told you, oh yeah, we reached the Trout. He said he's having you help us with the fighting the bite bots. Real cool, real cool. Like they came back and they totally bought your story, thanks to Trout. But
Oh no, Trout's smart enough to take the credit when you can take it.
I suppose so.
Yep.
Well, I suppose I'll get right to it. You arrive through the gate. You see that a lot of the people boarding up their houses have set down their tools. You see a lot of stuff strewn about and not a lot of people to be found until you get to the stockpile in the center of town, where you see Noah and Charles standing on a lift a little ways above this pile of stuff, addressing the crowd as if from a stage. And you see Noah, the lighter-haired, softer-spoken brother, is holding a pistol in the air.
Jesus.
And you see him
Noah.
saying, "No, I don't want to do this. But we're going to find out who tipped off the raiders, or we're not going to be able to move forward with the emergency preparations. We cannot survive this with the traitor amidst our family." And you see Charles is there. He's got, looks like he's got his hand to something at his hip, but he is letting Noah talk for once. The rest, Smokey, you get there, you push your Trout's guys push a cart of food and drink into the crowd of people. You bump into somebody who turns around. Huh? What? Oh, they're calling up. They're calling a meeting. You got to get in here.
I will put a drink in his hand and say, and say, "You should strap in. This is going to be an interesting town meeting." And then I'll stride in with my crew and the rest of the drinks and food, try to take over the situation inside.
So we are outside we're outside a little downhill from the manor here. They have a few rope lifts set up to move materials up. They're outside here. Behind the crowd is the mess hall and some of the other refurbished houses. And in the middle of the crowd is the stack of recyclables that they have stockpiled to hide them. The rest of you roll up on the back of this crowd. You see Charles and Noah up there. And they're scanning the crowd. They're going, all right, we have most of the residents here. All right. He scans the crowd. He sees Nutter, who's always a little bit weaky, and he goes, "Well, you're good enough. Nutter, come on up here." And he goes, "We want everybody who knows about the wire to step forward. We're going to work this out right here, right now." You see Nutter steps forward. You see Noah goes, "Who has seen Vin? She knows where the wire is. She gets to be here too." And you see somebody in the crowd pushes somebody forward, and they stumble forward. You see another small girl, disheveled hair, looking pretty upset with the situation, with being involved here. And then they look to you. Charles goes, "Pierce, step up here."
So, can I take my
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We should have our advancements going forward. I just wanted to wrap up the thing with the prospector before we jumped on that. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we'll stick a pin in it real quick. Let's do the advancements that Pierce got before.
didn't
I
you-
also got one.
Yeah, we'll do Pierce and Trout here, and then we will continue with our roundup.
Anybody else getting close on the experience front?
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a move from another playbook.
Oh yeah. Which
Yeah.
one?
That's the question. I can do a driver, or I can do a gunlugger one that says bloodthirsty. Whenever I do harm, I do +1 harm. That would bring
That's oh boy.
I
The
can do that.
gunluggers are the baddest ass. You
That
would
sounds
deal
like
a lot
Mike.
of damage.
Yeah, that would be +4 harm when I attack.
That'd be quite a lot.
Yeah.
If you, Miguel, if you had been hit by that drill, you would have taken 4 harm. He's in the bathroom.
Instant death.
It's a lot.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. Was there anything else on your that you were considering? For
Well,
that?
I was considering. There's also from the driver, Daredevil, which if I go straight into danger without hedging my bets, I get +1 armor.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so that's a little more defensive.
Dive on him.
And then the other
Well,
one,
it's defensive, but only when you're not being defensive.
yeah. Well, I'm never being.
Yeah, no, it tracks.
The other one is Weather Eye. When you open your brain to the world's psychic maelstrom, I roll cool instead of weird.
Is that a driver move?
That's a driver move.
Oh,
Whether I would be interesting. I do think your character as a pre-war survivor means to me that there's more weird going on with Pierce than Pierce lets on. Daredevil's really cool. I feel like it fits. But yeah, I mean, you would get just +1 harm. I will say, under the curtain, if we do a chapter 2, I do want to bring Road War into it.
Nice.
So if you pick from Driver, that could be thematically on brand. But yeah, it's up to you. If you need a sec to decide, we could go to Zach's advancement.
Yeah, let's go to Zach. 'Cause it's
All right.
I was considering between Charismatic and Seeing Souls as a new Hocus move, and I am going to pick Seeing Souls. So when I help or hinder, I roll weird instead of my HX, my history with you guys.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah, I was just like, I've already seen Smokey's soul, so
Time to see the rest of them.
time to see the rest of them.
You horrible creep.
He's a
Love it.
really bad guy.
He has that charisma. Whatever power that is, he's got it.
Oh yeah.
Cool. I like that. Pierce, any ideas what we're going with here?
I think I'm gonna go with Weather Eye.
I was gonna say I thought Weather Eye sounded the coolest.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about going into this situation and I'm trying to read the crowd. So he's gonna open himself up to the psychic maelstrom and just like the cool hand Luke kind of just eyeing everybody and seeing what he picks up.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Weather Eye?
Weather Eye.
Weather Eye.
Yeah, it is a move in the driver list. The driver is another cool character who starts with a special car, but their moves are also very perceptive and very good at getting them into and out of trouble. But that's really cool. All right. And yeah, I guess I'd be cool letting that be our next move after our and he did call you forward.
That's why I'm just scanning. I figured it fits.
All right. Well, cool. Well, let's take a look at Weather Eye. Are you trying to read a charged situation with your regular senses, or are you trying to get a feel for it?
I'm trying to read a situation to see
Okay.
what thing.
does
So I'm
Weather Eye-
opening
is
myself
that-
up to the maelstrom just to like further enhance my senses on this, and I get +3 to that, so that's a 12.
Yeah.
So I succeed.
I will say the list of questions are a little different. It's not quite as cut and dry as read a situation, which would be the other one. But if we want to open our brain, I get to tell you something new and interesting
Oh yeah.
about the current situation.
Good
I'd ask
luck.
you a question or two.
Have fun.
Okay. On a partial success.
Oh, I got a full success.
You got a +3
I got
to
a
that,
plus
right?
3 to that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did that?
Success.
Oh, that did. That did give you a +3.
Oh, it did
That was
get plus.
2d6
So I got a partial.
+3. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that. You wrote that in there. I see.
Well, I
cheat.
I don't give you a good detail. I give you an impression on a partial success.
Can we just choose the impression?
Unfortunately, I only have like no good impressions, but
Stop it now.
yeah. No, Arnold is
Battle of the
impressive.
Arnolds.
The closest thing to Arnold right now is Pierce. And,
We'll play a game where we all play Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
And
Oh man.
Being Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I can't. So yeah, I guess you get an impression. You get the impression that you get the impression that somebody here might be the culprit, but they're hiding it right now.
Oh, we don't know yet.
Right. Yeah, so I guess
But it's not you. You're pretty.
I'm pretty sure it's not me.
It's pretty sure it's not you.
It is someone who would feel that betrayal pretty deeply, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, they call you forward. Pierce, you're part of this lineup too.
Yeah. Oh, and I get an experience for that. Cool. So, yeah, I'm up there.
All right,
looking around.
What do you want to do? You called all these people up in town. I feel like we're about ready to be part of the Hunger Games up here.
Yeah, what's the
They go, all right.
done for, Mr. Elder?
Kill you all.
Noah goes, so this morning, everybody knows we were attacked and the wire was taken down. And Lightbulb Larry tells us that it was an inside job. Now, only a few people were involved in the creation of the grid that powers the traps. Our guards were told where they were installed. He points to you, Pierce. Says, Nutter, get up here. They've got Nutter, Rusty, and they've also Got Vin, who Charles is like eyeing very angrily. Vin, who discovered them on her own. We punished her very severely for that. And, well, Lightbulb Larry, of course, but he wouldn't. He's not even capable of getting out there on his own. And there's another man standing there. Izzy, the coppersmith, and the guards. If it wasn't one of them, then maybe somebody heard something from one of them. But I guess we sent you off to find them. Pierce, you're the best thing we've got against these drones, but we can't. He's sort of fidgeting with the gun here. We can't rule you out. So please, what happened again? What happened that night? And
So
are you sure?
both you and
didn't see anything.
Charles also know where the things are.
Yeah, so
Who
get in
hollers
line.
at this point?
The
Who
damn
hollers at
thing.
this point? Yeah, you two know too. You know too. You too.
What? How did she get here? She doesn't even live here. Somebody.
I pick her
Kinda
up and
does, actually.
put her on my shoulders so you can get out even louder.
She stops yelling for a second, looks down at you, and then leans over and says, and just points her fingers up at them. You two know too. Don't exclude yourselves.
Are you gonna flash?
Charles
Don't.
roars
She
with
will rest
anger.
her.
I roll
she'll
for
lean
blindness.
forward and she leans forward and rests her boobs on top of his head. So
And
it's
I
just like
throw you to the ground immediately.
You didn't want to.
Charles goes, those weirdos, I don't know how they learned it, but those weirdos have got to be behind this somehow. You, Trout, you work with electricity in that shitty debauchery box down there.
Debauchery.
Where were you that night? Who saw you there?
I
Trout, you were
give
buried in
you
your
the
work down there.
I give you just the middle finger. Fuck off, you know. I was working in that place. Fuck you.
He goes, you're not out of this, but Rusty, Nutter, get me Trout. And Rusty goes, no, I got this. And a man in body armor, carrying a rifle, jumps down, and people start getting out of his way as he approaches you, Trout. What do you do?
I said dude, are my goons here? Are my fish heads here?
You see Rusty coming to you. The fish heads are here. They've got drinks. Some of them are drunk. Some of them are trying to get other people drunk.
Hey,
There's also
boys.
a big mob of people.
Okay. I am going to use my ability, frenzy. So
Frenzy?
when I speak truth to a mob, I can roll my weird, and on 10 plus, I get to pick a few things that they do for me. So let's.
Nice.
Okay.
If I fail, they all turn against me.
Oh dear. This does say a mob, so I think we should be specific. Which mob? Your guys or the residents? Because you're kind of at odds right now.
I mean, I think the residents, because there's a lot more of them than my guys. And my guys are pretty useless.
And you're speaking truth to them, right?
Yeah,
It has to be true.
I'm right with you. I'm gonna try to help because I think there's a lot of truth to be spoke here. In particular, the fact that all of us now know literally where all the wires are because we were out there trying to help fix them. We literally know where they all are now. So why would we be the ones to be breaking them if we're now trying to fix them currently? It's like ridiculous. So I'm helping you if that's all right.
All right.
A roll trout.
So yeah,
Go for
you can like launch into explaining everything you've.
No.
Yeah, not good enough.
Wow.
All right.
You ain't helping. Now nobody.
Yep, here we go. Let's see what happens.
Hey.
It succeeds!
Oh,
Okay,
didn't that
what
6 give you
happens on a
-7
helper?
or something?
Okay, so on a success, I can bring people forward to deliver all their precious objects, or I can I can make them fall into an orgy if I want to. But right now, I want them essentially like stand by me and like get in the way of this guy, and I'm just like, don't listen to them. I was out here helping you, me and the fish heads and all these people here, and I gestured all of you, have been trying to figure out what's going on. That guy, and I point to like Charlie and them, he doesn't know what's happening. He's trying to cover his own ass.
There you
Damn.
go.
And you're gonna see me in the corner. I'm starting to undress. I'm like, oh, so we're not doing the orgy?
Yeah, I like the last idea.
I lean over like, not right now. That's after.
Gosh, you fucking
I
whack
don't think I have
nut.
enough mushrooms for everybody.
Let me just check check this move one last time. So what would you? Okay, so on a 10 plus, hold 3. You can spend your hold, which is basically you just get to do 3 of these at some point here during the rest of this scene. You can make the mob bring someone forward and deliver them. They can bring forward all their precious things, and you would like them to unite and fight for you as a gang at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah, essentially, I want them to unite and fight for me as a gang and like block this guy from coming towards us.
Okay.
I feel there's a school board involved.
Is
in
only
here.
one of your holds.
Yep.
So
That's only one of them. So don't worry, that orgy's coming. We'll save it till we win.
So
know
yeah,
who's
so the
down.
guys, the residents get in Rusty's way. Let's put Rusty on the board, shall we? As long as he's becoming a threat here. Rusty goes, "Whoa, hey, I don't have any problem with you guys. I have an order. Get out of my way." And they don't.
Don't listen to that piece of shit.
And he's like, what does he do in this scenario? This is not what I expected.
Would he double check with
Oh,
with
man.
Charles?
Cool, I love that. I love Frenzy. You have taken.
This is
control.
frenzy you're using. You're just gonna crush it with frenzy.
Yeah, I just I can't believe it worked out so perfectly.
So do you have them fight Rusty?
I'm not gonna have them attack Rusty right now.
Okay.
I'm
Not
just
doing
being
harm.
like, Yeah, we're not fighting this guy. This guy's a little goon. He's not important. I'm just like, defend me. Make sure I'm safe.
He's taken aback by this for a minute. These guys are all seemingly kind of on your side. For a moment, it's weird. They were so pissed at you guys a second ago, and now they're standing shoulder to shoulder with your fish heads. Pierce,
Randy as can be.
not Pierce. Sorry, Smokey. Your staff has been handing out drinks.
Yes.
A few
That
people
helps.
around the edges, the less fervent,
the hidden
have
bonus.
been drinking a few.
I would
see
like
that
to use my everybody eats even that guy to see. I kind of want to see if I can use it on Chris, right? Because he's the one trying to order.
Charles?
on Charles up
yeah,
there?
Charles.
Yeah,
and Chris,
Charles the angry
Yeah.
arcade hater. Yeah, okay. Sure. In this moment where there's a lot of confusion, you'll see a lot of people are starting to get like they're not fighting at the moment, but they're starting to get riled up and angry and
Frenzy?
Good orgy. Good
I mean,
orgy.
yeah, they're frenzied. There's a lot of emotion here. It's very charged.
There might be a
Well,
change of
just
leadership.
blame it on Charles.
Never know.
He's in charge.
For someone who feels really badly about this betrayal.
Oh,
That's
shnikes.
12.
That's a lot of things, but he doesn't feel bad about
So
betrayal.
I can do
All right,
30
who just rolled a
questions
12?
about Charles here. That
Smoke.
would be me.
Okay,
for my
all right.
Everybody eats even that guy.
Okay. I will remind you, Trout, that during the rest of the scenario, you have 2 more
Yeah.
hope.
Yep, believe me, I know.
Orgies on deck.
Okay, so I would like to know what is up with Charles. Like, does he have some sort of ulterior motive? Is what I want to know for my first question.
Well, you get a list. Let me pull up your list, Smokey, on your move. Everybody eats.
How are they doing? What's up with them? I guess.
You landed a... Yeah, wow.
What's up with
Dang,
that?
how are they doing? What's up with them? Charles is extremely stressed. He is at his wit's end, and...
Does it seem to me like things are like he had a plan that might be going sideways?
No, he's really confused why these residents are all of a sudden defending the fish heads that both he and a lot of residents he knows hates. He's up there on the stage going, Tommy, Moan, come on, you hate these guys.
Okay.
But the fishes have really good food.
Yeah, but why are they doing it? Well, why is he against the fish head so much? What I mean, I feel like he might have something.
The fish heads have been outsiders to this town.
Yeah.
He thinks they're
also a
hiding
cult.
signal devices in all of their tech.
I have money down saying Charles is the one who's behind this whole thing.
One of them.
Hey, you say the word, I can send this mob right after that guy.
Right after we get naked.
It looks like
Right after.
yeah, it looks like you just get to ask me 2 more questions now. It doesn't look like you hold them for later. So
How do I get to them emotionally?
How do you get to them emotionally? I mean, turning up the culprit was what he wanted you to do. But if you want to get to him emotionally,
Just ask him about his
think you-
mother.
do you? I don't know. I can
Maybe
tell
his
you
mother
what he
was naked.
wants. He wants you to produce him a culprit, and he wants his people to be unified in. He wants his people to have justice, but more importantly, be unified around that justice.
But I don't think he cares what the
good to
justice
know.
is. He
He's
just wants
looking
to
for a
point.
scapegoat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's looking for an answer to
For a
sit everybody
deflection.
down. That's why I'm thinking he's got some sort of motivation behind it.
You know, the fact that Noah is the one that has the gun right now means that things are very, very serious. Noah was always the one going, no, Charles, it's a benefit to our village here to have them. Just be patient.
Okay.
But even his patience is gone now.
Okay. So the last question I want to know is, what do they love best?
What do they love best?
Is it an orgy?
Is it an orgy?
No.
We're ready for it.
I'm trying to get this shirt
It's
off.
not
really soon.
sexual. It's not romantic. It's Noah. He loves his brother. He loves his brother more than anything else in the world.
Okay.
And
I'll-
his brother
Smokey
is very
will,
upset and has just fired a shot into the air.
Smokey will sidle up to Trout and kind of feed him that information and see if he can use it to move the crowd in a useful way.
Trout eyes the crowd, looks at all these people. On his whim, and he says, "Get him,
Get him.
take him out."
Get
He
who?
points to Noah and Charlie. Take him out. He tells them to go take Noah and Charlie out. This
Which
is his
guys are you
chance for
telling
power.
this?
Huh? The crowd, the mob that I have under my frenzy, I tell them to just go get him.
All right, I'm gonna stand Overwatch on Trout.
I told you this would be called Trout Hill. And nobody believed me when I said it.
Hey, this is a vie for power. I'm taking it now.
God
Oh
damn.
my god. You're taking over the town? This is amazing.
I'm taking over the town.
This is
These
amazing.
people love me.
We're the ones doing the work for.
Okay, let me just.
I love how
go
Eric's
ahead and-
like, what the hell is going on right now? This is great.
So I'm gonna go ahead and real quick just look up the rules for a large gang.
All right.
Yeah.
Are there rules for coup?
Man. Yeah, the
Not
roll
really.
for coup.
Roll for
This is 2 steps. A large gang. 25 to 50 people. More than 50 means large. Yeah, it's a large gang.
Yes.
The bigger gang gets +1 harm and +1 armor for the step of size difference. Basically, a gang is kind of like a gang size is kind of like creature size, like
Yeah,
in large
yeah, I get
in D&D. Okay. Anyways, but yeah,
Here we go.
today
Gang fight.
I'm but there's no other gang.
Yeah, I want them to run in there, Shanghai
Dang,
these
dude.
guys, tie them up. We're taking these guys in. We're bringing them in.
Let us note
we're
that when
taking
we
over this
say we,
town.
I am not included in this thing. I am not going.
I am taking over this town.
I got Trout's back.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Interesting.
Violence.
So
You can have a gang versus an individual, right? Like, doesn't that
yes,
happen?
yeah. I mean, it'll pretty much. I don't.
Using
they
a
are-
gang as a weapon.
See, I get him.
When you have a
Yeah,
gang,
I-
you can sucker someone,
Yeah.
go aggro, or make a battle move. So yeah, he's like
Dude,
suckering somebody, but
this
like,
is a sucker. Someone. They're on a platform. They're on a winch.
yeah.
They can carry
They,
it, push
they
it
have
over.
no allies here. They do have some allies who aren't part of the gang. They go.
There's one soldier in the middle of the crowd right now.
Okay, so what do you say? Let's
literally-
start
I'm
here.
like-
What do you say?
I look at like Smokey comes over to me, he tells me all this stuff, and I turn to the crowd, I look at him, and I'm just like, get him! Get
that was
Charlie!
the plan. Get her.
Get her!
Okay,
Yep, that's the plan.
Noah
Charles
Strong.
goes.
No thought, just get him!
Oh fuck. Noah fires into the gang of. Noah doesn't fire. Noah points the gun at the gang and holds there. And Charles goes, Nutter? Smokey. Nutter comes at you charging with a shotgun. Like crazy. He racks around. He brings the thing up to you.
He's gonna shoot Smokey.
Not Smokey.
What's I think he just kind of pulled Smokey into this for no reason.
Nah, he was just
yeah,
sidling up right up to
Yeah, I'm like worm
Trout.
tongue.
I'm kind of putting him in a spot here.
All right, go for it. Let's see what happens.
While Rusty was out there,
I grab a fish head and put him in front of the in front of me.
I'm just picturing it. It's like this, and then the fish heads explodes.
Oh, jeez. Okay, go ahead and roll me an act under fire then.
I can use cool
like the
for
Deadpool
that.
scene. Where there's a million Deadpool.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's
Or no, I can
exactly
use
that
hot.
scene.
Instead of cool.
And meanwhile, you hear people in the crowd for some reason start going, they're hoarding all our stuff. They're taking all our shit. They're keeping us here against our will. And people start moving towards the center of this pile. And a shotgun rolls out and absolutely obliterates one of the fish heads.
No, not Tim.
Peter.
You take
His last name was
no
Buck
harm.
too as well.
Rolling harm, Smokey, plus 0. You take no harm, but you're not getting out of. You did take the impact of. You just got blasted with a shotgun.
Yeah,
you took the harm, but it's gonna blow through.
Skull fragments are hitting you in the face.
Partial success on the harm here.
What the hell's happening?
Peripheral moves when you on a partial success. You just lose.
They gotta reach over and
You
grab.
lose track. You lose your grip on what you're holding. You lose your grip on the guy. He's
That's all right.
Drop
He is slippery now.
I dust like whatever gore off of me. Ugh.
This went from town meeting
he's
to town.
going for you. Do you do anything to retaliate here?
I am going. I will rush
Pierce.
forward and attack.
Pierce is gonna be the one
And
to
attack
jump on
the
him.
guy who's attacking Smokey.
Okay. Yeah. You see an absolutely squeaky little guy with a shotgun. Loads the other one.
Pierce, somebody needs a little bit of hospitality.
Yep.
That's an episode. That's what this episode's name is. A little hospitality.
All right. Okay. Gosh, this sounds like a. I don't know. He's ready. It's not exactly a sucker. You might just have to exchange harm here.
Oh god, there we go.
Go aggro. I think we've already gone aggro. He went aggro first, actually.
Yeah.
Or then do
So,
something under fire.
Yeah, we're gonna do battle. No, you know something? Yeah, you can go aggro. You're not exactly in battle with this guy. If you want something from this guy, you can try to force him to do it.
Yeah, I'd be like,
If
drop
you
your
just
gun
want
now.
to deal the damage, okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead and go aggro. If
Or else.
in this instant, since it's a threat of true violence, in this instant, if I select force your hand and suck it up, you deal the damage. So, or cave and do what you want. So,
All
go
right,
ahead
come
and
on.
roll me aggro.
Big money. Big money. Big money. Not bad. Not bad.
Partially succeed.
Partial success. That means with go aggro, I get to choose what they do. They're gonna get the hell out of your way. They're just gonna go, Pierce, fuck, and he just runs. He just books it. He holds his shotgun, but he just books it.
As I see him running away, not taking any damage, I just go, disappointing.
All right, Sprout, you are using a gang as a weapon to go aggro on Noah and Charles, and yeah, they've got. Well, Vin's not going to stop you. Nutter's booking it. Izzy is not a fighter. It's Rusty who's there. You see him. He's got his finger off the trigger for a second here, but he's ready to put that thing up. He's stunned. He didn't expect this at all.
No,
I didn't expect it at all. I'm literally like sitting here. I'm like, what's going on with this meeting? It seems kind of dragged on. And also I was like,
Backs up to the pile. I wanted it to be a whodunit, and then you turned it into a coup.
you know,
Awesome. Amazing. Part of my agenda is to look at every NPC through crosshairs, and this is me looking at my NPCs through crosshairs. Sure, you could take the town. Let's do it. You want to take their position? You want to capture them?
I want to capture them, and I want to become the new leader of this town.
Goddamn. Okay. I wonder if we're not in. You're gonna do a. Yeah, you're gonna do a go aggro with your gang here.
That tracks.
Against a single person, they inflict +3 harm and +3 armor. But yeah.
And don't worry, I still have one more action with this mob, so the orgy's still happening.
Oh boy.
The celebratory orgy.
Start taking my shirt off.
I said fingers in the right, taking his shirt off.
Emotion.
Now you're gonna find out why they call me fingers.
Oh, God.
Oh dear. Well, let's get on with the coup, shall we? So go ahead and roll me the plus hard. And yeah, it's basically an insurmountable
All right.
Wave.
trouble for these guys. Yeah.
Succeeds partially with hard.
What the hell?
Partial success. They can force your hand and suck it up, or get the hell out of your way, or barricade themselves securely in, or give you something that they think you want, or tell you what you want to hear. They go, all right, call them off. We'll you can. We'll back off. We don't need a scapegoat if everyone's going to die. I don't think he says scapegoat. He doesn't say scapegoat. No, he says,
it's out there.
Yeah, Freudian. I don't even know if it's
if we
Freudian.
all die, they would have been happy with a scapegoat. If we all die, the wire means nothing. He puts his hands up. He backs off.
So who is this? This Charles or is this Noah?
This is Charles, and Noah's pointing the gun at this group of people, but there is people, man. If you had read Noah, you'd see the thing he loves the most is this community, and he can't shoot them.
I think Trout will walk up to Noah, slap the gun out of his face, out of his hands, and he's like,
Face.
out of his face, out of his hands, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll protect this town now."
And you see Charles looking defeated, as like, just, we've lived here before launch day, before the drones, before you. You're just going to walk in and take this all from us? You're going to betray the wire?
I already did, buddy.
It's for the people. It's
What?
for the people. It's all of us. All
Don't
of us
worry.
are the people.
Yeah.
Why? When did you get in contact with Sidewinder?
What? What? Side. What? That doesn't matter.
We just
When
said-
did you call
we
the
just said-
Raiders? Okay,
Ooh.
who's reading the situation?
I'll read the situation.
I'll read
Yeah.
the situation.
Okay,
I can read the situation better than anybody. Actually, I don't know.
I cannot.
let's do a read the sitch and get a helper hinder.
I have
just to keep it as
no
one.
idea what's happening. I'll give you a help.
Trout's like, what?
So you see
What?
this like group of people are circling you. You've climbed up on top of this pile of stuff, and you've reached the raised platform that they're all sitting at. It's you and the two brothers. Just a little below you is Rusty. The other people in their lineup have tried to slink away. They were suspects, and now they just don't want to be here. you catch a glimpse of Vin ducking between some of the residents as she disappears into the crowd. You see Izzy sort of shrinks into some of the supplies and just tries to hunker down. Fingers, you wanted to give me a read a situation here?
Sure. I mean, I guess I could. You kind of brought it up for us. What am I trying to? Do you have a question that you want to answer?
I do help you in this.
Who was curious about this situation as
well?
well?
Since who seemed to have more of a question that you wanted to ask, go ahead. Who you can ask?
Also, who you get a +2. All right, to this.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll do that.
Trout's weird. He's up there. You can weirdly hear what's going on the platform.
Yeah, I'm like right behind Trout, so if he climbed up there, I'm probably perched on the equipment as well, just sort of like squatting.
Okay.
So I got a 9. I think that is a ask 1. Read the sitch.
Well, you got +2.
I rolled. I added +2
From
to there.
Trout. Go.
Yeah,
you
you
got
already
the
added
+2 in
that.
the roll.
Yeah, he's at the +2 on the roll already.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and ask one of the questions and read a situation.
2 has 2 1s there, or 1 1.
Who specific questions? Dang it. Which of these two guys is my biggest threat? Especially since he just talked about Sidewinder.
Which enemy here is the biggest threat?
Yep. Yeah, Noah, you got Charles, and then I guess
Trout? Can I say Trout? I want to say Trout.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. She might
But
be
if you're
suddenly
an
like
ally,
scared.
if you're an ally of Trout,
You're my number one guy. You're my best man. Come on.
the biggest threat is Rusty, who is still very much keeping his head on a swivel. He's wearing armor. He does have a big rifle, and he isn't saying anything at the moment.
Gotcha. All right, and then so I'll keep an eye on him, and then I'll just say like, what's Sidewinder? Sidewinder who? Where's the Sidewinder? Did you talk to Sidewinder?
They go, the gang from the north you called to attack my hardhold?
No.
Yeah, I didn't do that. No, that wasn't me.
What are you doing up on this platform, you bastard?
Oh, I'm taking this town from you, you idiot.
You were gonna shoot some random people.
I feel like we need a memo.
Bad leader. Bad leader.
So
Push him down.
Charles goes, okay. I always knew. You're not going to last a damn week with the wire down. Let me and my brother up to the manor. We'll get our things. We'll get gone. And you can rot on this hill for as long as I care.
No, I'm taking your stuff too. You can just go. Get out.
Damn.
He goes, Rusty, please. Rusty just looks at the group of people. He looks at Trout.
You want to be on the right side of history, Rusty?
Rusty looks at Charles. He thinks a moment and goes, sorry, buddy. Looks like the time's changed.
Stone Cold.
And the two of these guys, the group, I think we're at a point where I have to conclude at an ending I never saw coming.
Yeah.
Should always
Trout?
expect a coup.
Your new gang, the residents of this city, pull the original leaders from their place on top of their stockpile in an emergency gathering and send Charles and Noah scurrying dejectedly to an uncertain future to the north. Trout, you stand on a platform overlooking your new hardhold, the city of Greenhill, home to 400 souls protected by 3/4 of a wire. Under attack from a gang, under direction from a man named Sidewinder, who you do not know, who you did not contact. And this place is yours now. You're no longer an outsider. And to the rest of you, Trout was part of your team, and now he's claiming a leadership position over all of your stuff. And you look out over Greenhill, you see the farms, you see the smoke of the fires fighting the bite bots, and you see a lot of very angry, very scared people, and you see them all look up to you, to what they will do next. And that's where chapter 1 is going to conclude.
We're gonna wrap it up for this little intro of Apocalypse World.
This is gritty.
At the beginning of the morning, you were set out. You were set out to find the culprit. You did not find the culprit, but you found instead an opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Well, one of us did. I was like, "What's going on? I'm trying to get undressed here for the orgy," and meanwhile, somebody else.
Oh yeah. Final order. Everybody, let's go. Orgy time.
Boy.
I look.
All right.
I look down and I realize I'm like, that's too late.
The uninhibited emotion is the buzzing excitement of new leadership, of something new, a new direction. Whether that's dangerous or not for them, they don't care at the moment. They're very excited. They're entranced, and I think it illustrates a perfect point of Apocalypse World. As the camera zooms out from Greenhill, it sees the rest of the ruined United States, the Dronelands owned by the AI, the billboards crumbling, society has been taken over, the sprawl encroaches forever, and what happened in Greenhill just illustrates the one main point of this game, is there are no status quos in Apocalypse World. So take care, new hard holder, that this status quo isn't going to last forever.
Excellent.
But that's a taste of Apocalypse World. I mean, I am a little rusty at this, so it was good to shake off some of the rust. But I hope I was able to illustrate the moves and the way that they.
Yeah.
What I've taken forward from Apocalypse World has been the sort of the countdown clock way of tracking things, but also the upon a mixed success, there's different hard bargains you can give. I've found that in my DMing in D&D, I've taken that forward, and oftentimes when I'm stumped, I will go to the act under fire move and just say exactly that. On a mixed success or a close roll, you get a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. That kind of stuff.
All right. Is that going to wrap it up then for tonight? As we close out our tests for session 1 and 2, we've got a nice little wrap up of that. Hey, I think it was interesting. I think I think there's a lot of cool things to be said about that. Also, trying out some of those other systems would be cool. Let us know how what you guys thought about this system in general. I think it's kind of a vague system to answer, but it could be a good choice for you.
It's a new modern take on role-playing games.
Yeah, I like the conversation a lot, and I think it has a lot of potential or other games like that. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. And thanks a lot, Trout, for taking over the world. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
If we would like to do a chapter 2, I have a lot of rewrites to do because absolutely that didn't go how I planned. And I love that.
I saw my opportunity,
Yeah. People who run this game are terrified of focuses because of that type of thing they can do.
All right, let's wrap it up, everybody. We'll take off and we'll have a good night. So I'll see everybody. We'll see everybody next week. I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna do yet. We're gonna figure that out, and we'll do probably have one or two more games. One more game for sure before we take a kind of a break for Christmas. All right, have a good night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye for now.